Alrighty then, gamers. Sunday, 5 p.m. CET, last days of October, Halloween episode, if you will. Goodbye season 3 and all that. There's a lot of exciting things in the horizon for Guilty Gear Strive fans in the upcoming days, but let's get the last of season 3 out of the way before that. If this is your first time with us, you're now watching Bounty Hunters, a weekly show match event open to beginners, intermediates, and sickos alike. We're technically based in Europe, so open to we're open to gamers from all over the world, but technically a little biased towards certain regions. But you can certainly join if we can find a suitable match for you, no matter where you reside. And tonight, once again, the name of the game is Guilty Gear Strive in the 1st to 7 wins format. I'm your usual host, QK, and with me also tonight, a couple of extra guests at least for the first matchup slots. So hello, Dek and Marisa.
Hey.
Hello.
A little bit of a twist of fate. We got the fellas on the cons to perhaps yap about. You know, there's a lot of stuff to yap about when it comes to random select matches, because yeah, there's a lot. So, lest you are in the know, so how this is gonna work is between the games we're gonna random new characters for both of these gamers, and the duplicate rule is on or off. Technically, basically, we take the characters out of the pool as they are being picked, so no character will occur twice. Makes it a little less, a little more about that skill factor that you're kind of expecting in the random select matches, whereas, like, you can't random into your main character over and over again and be like, huh, this was easy. But yeah, since we are technically on the 5 p.m. CET spot, how about we go into the first roll? Let me fix my stuff. So let's do roll for deck first.
Ooh, we got a little wheel.
We got the tech.
I love the wheel.
Alright, so deck would be rocking.
I've been on random select before.
Yeah. So deck rocking Milia, and Marisa is gonna get ooh, it's so close, it'll be May. So Milia versus May.
That's funny. There was almost a timeline where I was a May player. Almost.
Yeah?
Same.
So let's see, your May is in the not confident tier and would also be not confident for a deck. So in that regard, we should be rocking with rather even footing. Of course, you know, the power tier charts are sort of the player's own feelings, perceptions of how strong they are with the character, based on no exact science, of course. So we've had a lot of situations in the past where somebody feels like, oh, I'm not very strong with this character and whatnot, but they still perform well, and vice versa. There's a lot of stuff that can happen in matches like this, especially when we roll into those not so confident tiers where you get to express perhaps your mains or the characters that you play well, those fundamentals on different characters. So first, going into the hard knockdown with discs as basically the go-to very important feature that you have to have down as Milia if you want to play her really effectively. This is technically the both poster girl of set it and forget it kind of gameplay for anime air dashers. Ooh, we got the TK Bad Moon getting hit with that stick, and this should actually kill. This is strong stuff from Deck. We got the disc Oki, we got the instant overheads, and then what else do you need? I guess a little bit of maneuvering at neutral. Now spending the red Wild Assault here, pushing Deck towards the corner. Of course, May, very explosive character, so simple 1-2 combos could be super destructive. Nice backdash there on the throw, and we got that combo as well, set it. And then a little bit of pressure. The command dash does get punished, however, in the corner, good jump and a punish, immediate momentum burst, keeping Marisa in the corner, looking to end it right here. They super loaded on meter. Yes, he's the deflect shield coming, uses RC to negate that momentum. Ooh, that was not tight, however. So Marisa gets to fight back. That was kind of naughty. I didn't even notice that was a setup where you could jump out of. Takes a little bit of knowledge for like which disc setups are quotations meaty and which are not. Of course, the kind of information that any seasoned player would probably know. So even if you're playing a different character, you do still know all of these basic features. Another really great jump out of the throw attempt. Rather even on life. Deck looking good on meter, but that meter could be potentially denied with one more hit from Marisa. Here comes the set in. Oh, did the cross up! And the combo is successful. Just builds the 50 meter just in the nick of time to get the hard wall break. And what are we mixing with? Ooh, a little bit of an offshoot. Tries to go for a quick overhead on the Bad Moon. Spent the resources. Deflect shield does cover the high-low, but Deck canceling into the forward-moving special move. A feature that sort of is the nemesis of the deflect shield type of move. Alright, first one goes to Deck.
Oh, we got live confirmation. Haircut better than May 3K.
That car is broken. I literally just pressed it. I was like, if this works, I'm literally the best.
God, I love forward-moving special moves. That's why I play Sin as well. Who gives a shit about deflect shield? Just move forward. Alright, so Deck is gonna get Nagoriyuki for the next one.
Not Dex Nago. Oh god.
Which is in the brain rot tier. Ooh, a little bit more about that, I guess, soon. And Marisa is gonna get... Ooh, it'll be Zato.
Oh my... Oh dear.
Yes, as one might expect, one of the more technical characters, so not surprised that it's in the no XP category of Marisa's list. And yeah, about that brain rot tier though, so that was really a surprising little thing that that was there when I got the tier chart from Deck. We don't exactly know the lore. What is the lore of that particular tier? But Deck said that. Just wait. You're gonna see. You're gonna see what it means when we get into the game with one of those characters, and we got one of those characters right here. So Nagoriyuki. I mean, Nago, you can derive a lot of power from Nago by just knowing a couple of special move inputs. If you sort of mimic what the top level Nagos do, you could do a lot of powerful things, a lot of damage. Of course, that the finesse, perhaps blood pops might be more common for you if you're sort of not in the expert category. And then Zato. Zato. You gotta control the puppet, which is gonna be hard. Goes into the blood pop. Is this what the brain rot means? We go big or go home, perhaps. That's a big hit. 2 5 heavies in the blood rage, and now we have all of that blood open. You know, you've been in that situation. You've been in that samurai mix-up situation where you're like, damn, the opponent blood pop, but I just didn't get enough value for that. And after the blood pop, they get all of it back. Did they get combo? No, not quite, but also no clean punish for Marisa, unfortunately. The blood is running out of Deck's veins. Missing with the jump K, punish on the throw. This could be big. One more hit. 2K 2D summon. Is this gonna collide with the oppose? No, it goes straight through actually. Is that because Zato was just in the front, or does that oppose not actually take supers? Oh my god, we're going in! Oh my goodness. Alright. I guess that's what the brain rot tier meant, huh?
Yeah, I think people get it now.
Wait. I hope you get Axel later on. People need to see that.
So, my perception is you have exactly the plan that you need to win with characters in that tier. It might not be, you know, the most, you know, finesse requiring, but it is definitely a game plan. Alright, let's see. Random for Deknud's next one would be Chip. Marisa's random. Is gonna be Milia this time. So 2 pixie characters. Let's see where they are on the player's charts. So Dek, Chip is in the basics category, and Milia at the bottom for Marisa.
If I remember her inputs and get a BNB going together, oh, it'd be a happy miracle.
Right, in terms of how easy it is to derive value out of these characters, I guess Chip is a little easier because slightly more normal based character. If you want the damage out, you probably need combo routes. You probably need Kara cancel, which is technically not the hardest thing in the world to do. Like if you've ever played a Kara cancel character before, you can kind of figure out like what you're supposed to be inputting in the corner if you want to go Rekka Kara super. Milia a little more technical. Let's see how this pans out. Go straight into the shuriken, which is one of the more niche moves in the game for sure. With the new move, Artemis getting a big counter hit. Dek returns with the DP, stay in there, but the 2P 4-framer interrupts, both players interrupted. There we go, there's the Kara super. We got that tag. So that already puts a lot of value on Dek's chip. Any hit from this point on, especially if the opponent is sort of towards the corner, nice anti-air there. Doesn't quite get the full conversion. Dek has to spend the burst and now the meter as well. Deflection does put Dek far away, just far enough away. Yeah, even though the Rekkas technically move Chip forward, those are not necessarily the most forward moving specials in the game. So it could be hard to launch more pressure after one of those gets deflected. But the counter hit, getting a decent amount of damage, like 1/3 of your life bar again. Seeing that the setup is not clean, goes for an air throw out of that. Both players have been able to perform that. Walks the initial cross up correctly, but then combos into Zanzeiroga. Is this gonna kill? Very close. It is Milia we're talking about, not quite. Into the mix scream, and smartly jumps out of that cross up to not have to contend with it. For B, ends up missing. Dek has a massive life advantage, trying to find a shuriken to finish it off with. Gets it with a bar slash in the end. 1 round apiece here. Yeah, standard starting with the stroke buttons from round start. I think both of these characters have pretty decent round start options. I think is Chip's bar slash is it 9 frames or is it 10 frames? I actually forgot. Ooh, the 6P beats out the far slash this time. Wild Assault combo, not quite the route that we were looking for. Zanzeiroga is the killer catch. No, able to walk in the air and the punish as well. Either damage or the setup is here. Unfortunately, Marisa getting neither one of those. Getting wall stuck at the most unopportune time. And then Dek getting out of there and starting a pressure sequence. That's the kind of thing that you would probably expect from not too seasoned players of a character.
Oh dear.
I wish I did just loop positive bonus.
Was that the wait? That was the third match, right?
That is third.
Yeah. Damn, this stuff hard to get track of, or hard to keep track of. All right, next one. Let's random for Dek first. And the wheel is gonna land on Abba. So lots of explosive power there. Abba located in, let's see. I'm blind. It's gonna be Baiken for Marisa. So Abba versus Abba versus Baiken.
Viken refugee stream finally gonna play Viken.
Yeah, there's a running joke about me actually being a secret Viken player.
Oh?
The
Let's
bike,
see
the,
it,
bike,
then.
the Viking players are finally going to see my bike, and I'm not sure if they'll like what they see though.
Let's see if the community is gonna denounce Marisa after this one. So ABBA with the basics power tier rating from Deck and confident ratings for Biken with Marisa. One of the most explosive characters in the game, ABBA. I would say the sort of core concept of ABBA, not necessarily the hardest, but I think the most difficult part about ABBA is routing properly. You always, or rather, you never want to spend time outside of the Moroha mode or the Jealousy Rage mode, if possible. And once you get into the mode once, if you can help it, never let go. And that requires a little bit of knowledge for how to route everything. We find the key crab very early, but the reversal parry takes care of the meaty mix-up. Of course, in the Moroha mode, you always have access to, you know, unseeable high-low throws, even if you wail, and all sorts of other nasty setups that... Oh, there's the reversal! That's gonna put Deck back into the mode and break the wall. This is roughly 2.5 seconds of the mode. Marisa smartly able to make the burst here, and now Deck for the second time to the 0 Jealousy Rage state. And with the micro dash TK Yozan finding the overhead. It's not only ABBA who gets to have the funny mix-ups. On hard knockdowns, we have access to that unseeable high-low for the Samurai Woman as well. There we go, the 5 heavy finds it smart into the mode. Oh, this time, because there was the threat of the reversal parry, might have felt a little discouraged to just go into the mix-up right away. A little bit of a reset here. YRC smartly and gets the deactivation. That's actually big. Being able to deactivate gets you half of the jelly back that you just spent. So now, if Deck gets to activate, we actually have more than 5 seconds of Jealous Rage ready to go. Ooh, that's actually, yeah, that's gonna reach even through the disjoint of that Kabari. Gets the throw and evens out the rounds. Rather even amount of burst here. Neither player is gonna reach that burst super early. Tilt RPS, back to neutral. Small kiss from the TK Yozan, but unless... in a lot of those situations, unless you get a counter hit or if you spend meter, not gonna get the cleanest flow out of it. Oh, that was a big, important throw there. And we reset in the keeper of the key. I think this is actually good. This is gonna lock. No, never mind. It doesn't lock into the animation. That's actually one of the supers that does not cause, like, infinite animation. Therefore, trades with the keeper of the key. I'm gonna be honest, I would have bet on the reversal super as well, but the knowledge factor, is it a good trade for me or not?
Oh no, not the knowledge check. I thought that would work.
I'm gonna reveal a secret. I literally did that in hopes you would reversal super me.
Scoundrel.
Because I knew that'd work.
That is such a lovely super as well. It's like one of my favorite things when I've been playing ABBA as of recent. Is like a lot of there's a lot of difficulty factor, like having to play with like on optimal level, all sorts of like Kara special moves all the time with ABBA. But then you just have the like just raw keeper of the key or like Kara super in the keeper of the key. It just feels good in Jealous Rage mode. By the way, Johnny is the random for Deknud next. And for Marisa, let's see what we're gonna get. The Johnny was in not too confident category. Marisa is gonna get Bedman. Ooh, where's this one? Oh, this is rather high, isn't it?
Yeah, dabbled a little bit of dabbling with the Bedman in the past.
All right. I'm intrigued. It's a very rare kind of a rare treat of sorts. Of course, we have a couple of like super strong bed players in the European community, such as like Plime, you could see in many weekly events. But as far as bounty hunters go, we don't have a lot of like regulars on this character. It's like all the Bedman players tend to be very dedicated to the character, so unless like it's like either or. There are no low-level Bedman players. They're all like up there, just dedicated to their to their weird little wheelchair guy. or bed, whatever. Alright, but Johnny, perhaps a little bit more zoningly. Both of these characters can definitely play the keep away game, but Johnny perhaps a little bit stronger with that. What Bedman likes to do is get that error, get that guard crush loop rolling, and I mean technically two same kind of characters in that sense. Although I would say that for Johnny it's a little bit easier to route into the guard crush loop than for Bedman. Checks for the safe jump, no safe jumps this time. And then resulting in the deal. Oh my god, the pop! The turn up hitbox reaching so high up into the air! And that was like almost at the peak of the 8-way dash as well. Getting a drive-by close slash, and with that new feature, Vacuum Momentum, able to block! The meter is certainly gone, but not getting the clean punish here. Ooh, sees the move with immediately into the red wild assault. Smart stuff. Good trade for Marisa, able to nullify the card. And now into the Bedman stuff. This will enable the impending error. Is that actually gonna reach high up enough? Yes, indeed. But unfortunately, the error will be gone as soon as the opponent touches Bedman. Nice backdash. We got the error again. This time there should be nothing to prevent the loop from happening into the mix-up. Take this guard crush, and since you're airborne, this Beyblade will also be fairly plus, I believe. There's a completely different kind of round there. Dek was able to dominate the first one, and then Marisa getting once into the guard crush loop, and that was that. The jump cancel bait on the burst. Not a done deal yet, even though it was a very... Ooh, wait a second, that was a whip punish on Mistfire? Initially looking really good, but then the reversal super from Dek as well, completely reversing the situation, and now we are in dangerous territory. 6P from Johnny, delivering as always, guard crush. Ooh, going under there with 6P, and then under with a 2P. Sorry, 2K rather. Marisa in a precarious position, can't take any hits. The error is coming. The tracking does not take care of it. That should be a punish. Throw is gonna be enough. And again, with just a little sliver of life on the last round, Dek somehow pulling through to take a 5-0 lead here. But honestly, that was pretty good stuff on that second round. That's the kind of stuff, that's the nightmare stuff that you're like always praying, please don't let me be put in this situation against Bedman, because it's honestly, it's that good stuff. It's that Guilty Gear Strive good stuff if you get there. Right, so the next random, let's roll for a Dek. Ooh, very close. Is it? No, not quite. Not getting to the other brain rot tier. Is gonna be Biken instead for Dek. And for Marisa, we're gonna be rocking with, looks like, gonna be Axel.
Oh, well, I think we've actually played this matchup once before.
We
This might be the first one we have done before.
Alright, especially if you watched Bounty Hunters, you should know that Marisa is pretty good with this Axel guy. And I mean, Dek is pretty good with this Biking guy as well, which, you know, explains the, you know, we've probably played this before. Two rather familiar characters, so this would probably be the highest power level match of this bout so far. Speaking of Axel, I heard a wild rumor that, you know, the patch notes might be coming out next Tuesday, and I heard a rumor that perhaps Rensen is actually gonna have a new input, which sort of enabled some of the stuff that we saw in the new trailer. But this is still Season 3. Let's see what we got from Axel here. With a decent big combo, Axel's best combos have historically always come from anti-airs, and anti-airs you are going to get, because it is technically impossible to challenge Axel on the ground actively. So a lot of the matchup is gonna come down into a jump in RPS of some sort, and Dek definitely knows it. Ooh, that was a really clean 6B there. Marisa couldn't let that rock. That would have been a kill, but the double jump into the gun, super hard angle to challenge for Axel. I mean, you got the 6K, but when the opponent is unloading with a super, it's a tough proposition for you to challenge. Right, lots of stray hits, but they do pile up in the end. Momentum burst, keep the prey in the corner. Desperately trying to build a little bit of distance between the opponent and me. Missing with the jump in. That's a great 6S. Deliberate, missing the final hit though. Both players spending the meter, trying to get the counter hit punish on the throw, but not quite. It's a couple of frames too late. And now, oh, it's actually another Yosan catching the opponent straight above.
That was gross. That was a cross-up.
Yeah, I was wondering what side that hit was. And people say this matchup is bad for Mike and it.
Again, like, you know, at the point where you get the 50 meter, it feels like, you know, doesn't Axel kind of have to respect the gun?
It's scary when Biken's got 50.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it's kind of like that for a lot of characters that can, you know, check you at full screen with their supers. Johnny's, Abbas, all of those. Anyway, Deknud gonna get Anji for the next match. That would be at the bottom of the tier, power tier chart. Now let's see if Marisa can pull something better than just 0 XP here. It's gonna be Ramlethal for Marisa. Let's see if my eyes do not deceive me. That is in the strong category. So, you know, it's 6-0, and I guess the odds are not gonna get any better than this. There's the 0 XP category against one of Marisa's stronger characters.
I'm an honest guy. Will round start spin?
I mean, even if the opponent knows that, what are they gonna do? Because there are a couple of different kinds of spin that you can produce. You're still in a mix-up position, unless if they just dash forward and throw you, of course. But Anji, historically, traditionally has some decent firepower against long-range keep-away characters. If those keep-away tools are strikes, then of course you can always dance into that strike and get some frame advantage that way, usually a punish. Speaking of the dancing, switching positions with that. Quick 6B into an overhead, but until we have 50 meter, there's no big path. Spending that 50 meter instead on a burst bait, definitely worth the proposition. The glow slash catches the backdash, switches sides here. Let's see what Marisa got. Actually able to defuse the sword pressure situation quite well. I mean, of course, you have to expect, because your opponent is a high caliber opponent, so they would of course know the very basics of the, you know, the sword throw RPS in the corner. Drops the combo, but the prey is still in there, able to pick it up into super as well. Looking very strong for Dek here, starting up with basically 80% life, hard knockdown, and we have all the resources in the world coming in. That is an Anze round if I ever saw one. Both players really close to their burst. Marisa really needs this. 6-0, technically first set point position here. Ooh, wasn't able to pick up the sword. Probably ends up not mattering, or does it? The burst from Dek, keeping the sword in there. Eventually it does come back though. Bar slash finds its mark into an overhead. Didn't quite have the meter there to cancel, but we can definitely cancel this low follow-up. 5K pickup misses though, so Marisa not done yet. Any hit is gonna be pretty lethal. Backdash into the corner and then out of there. Being very mobile, finding the low. Missing the pickup, plus frames from the shin. The life situation slowly getting evened out, and Marisa technically did have the inferior position, waits out the reversal parry, and the timing is good on the far slash. Marisa on the board.
Oh my god, Angie is my demon.
I think Angie is a lot of people's demon. It's that character, when you have characters who just have the innate ability to always force RPS, it makes you feel certain kinds of ways, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Alright, for the next one, deck is gonna get Giovanna. Which is, if I recall correctly, yeah, at the bottom of the tier chart, 0 XP. And, ooh, it's so close! No, not quite the Sin. Gonna get Slayer instead, okay. Marisa here. Very close on the edge there. I was kind of hoping it to be a Sin for a couple of different reasons.
We've got to get the comeback and show off both our mains. The Sin. I've not actually touched Sin for a while. I've been trying to learn Ram, but Season 4 is looking good for him.
My main isn't in the game yet. It's not happening.
Both of us in Season 4 will be on a different character.
Alright, so Giovanna, fairly standard. I guess the only thing that you would like to have on point on deck first, if you get a couple of basic combo routes, then you can kind of put together like a decently competent Giovanna. And then you just, you know, it's kind of easy to understand the sort of step dash mechanism and how you can cancel into your normals whenever during the step dash. Getting a big counter hit, there we go! Quick 1, 2, 3 into a super. Gotta love those, like you work with what you have. Is that gonna actually miss? The laser beam super completely misses on an airborne Giovanna. That's basically the only disadvantage of that super Mappa Hunch. Returning back with a DP, however, back throw into the corner. This is gonna whiff completely, but are we gonna get hit? Yes! Step dash, far slash. Got a decent corner carry conversion. 6P wakes up with it. Deflect shot completely misses, but no punish. Oh, it's actually a double KO. But that definitely, you know, initiates a lot of momentum here for deck. Started the round with completely full burst gauge, and from that double KO, both players are actually gonna lose a life. So technically, this is another set point position for deck. Ooh, right read, but the wrong timing there, a little early. Off the combo again. Yeah, understandably, we're baiting the super. Perfect. And with the confidence difference between these characters, grasps out another win. Never too late until your opponent has 7 points. And now, from this point on, you know, all we need is a little bit of good luck and, you know, solid gameplay, and we can definitely still come back from this for Marisa. And the random for deck for next one would be Leo, which is located in the bottom of the tier chart once again. Although Leo, another very standard, you know, step dash character, I guess has a little bit more juice or sauce than Gio. The random for Marisa is gonna be a Johnny.
Ooh, Johnny.
Let's see, that is in the not confident tier. So this is a low power level match here. The infighter versus the keep away slash set play character. It's no secret what Leo wants to do here. Get in, stay in there, do your, you know, back turn, high-low mixes. Don't let Johnny play if possible. Johnny's game plan, try to keep the infighter away. Try to perhaps bluff deals here and there. Start your guard crush loop. And I think guard crushes are like relatively powerful even against DP characters, because it's so hard to you know, buffer your reversals out of those guard crush situations, because you know how the buffer button buffer is dealt with in those situations. Getting that heavy fireball out and advancing behind it. Quick one through into super, that's half of your life. Those are exactly the kind of sequences that we're looking for characters that we are not confident with. Do the stuff that you can. Don't do too difficult things. Just, you know, get the rewards out of the situation that you can. Waiting for, not sure what. Reversaling out of the situation, back throw. We can deal here. Waiting for it. I think that was kind of what Marisa was probably looking for, the advancing reversal super, but being stuck in the Mistfinder stance also means that you won't be able to block. And I forgot, I forgot how fast you can come out of the Mistfinder stance as well. Might be a little tricky if you're very close to the opponent. Jump over the throw, get another deal. Oh, but where's the card? Oh, the card is still there, but the card is not triggered! When it's lying on the floor, generally you will need the low Mistfinder to trigger it. Now in the backturn stance, is this footsies? The ground-based footsies that Killdegear is known for. However, Mistfinder with a little bit more range and throws Deck out of that artist formerly known as Rekka 1. Flow slash, that should be the done deal here. Deck smartly saving the burst to last round. Burst there would have been a little bit of a hero maneuver. We've punished on 5D of all buttons. We got a reversal S, flash kick out of the pressure. 5B combos into a button. All right. But here comes Leo Whitefang. That's a close slash. Tries to bamboozle through, but Marisa not phased. We don't let those shenanigans run too often, at least. Here's another shenanigan though. Couple of jump Ds. It's a very peculiar normal because you can cancel that on landing. But Marisa, last bit of life. We're not going into the reversal this time. It is the SDP reversal that ends up taking this set for Deck.
I hope Duck165 was watching that last game.
Yeah, I did end both rounds with empty jump TP. Let me know when I feel not the slightest bit bad about it.
You shouldn't feel bad about it.
All right, but that is gonna end the random select match between the two TOs. Of course, Deck grabs another one, being sort of a a veteran of the random matches in the EU region. One of the more active players, and having, of course, an active roster of characters that is way above average when you consider like how many characters people usually actually are able to pilot in a lot of fighting games. Very impressive stuff once again.
I got 4 more days on the Leo. I'm ready. Evo can come.
All right then. How are we gonna progress from here on out? Do you guys wanna dip, or do you wanna, stick here for more matches?
I definitely want to get some food, but I could be here after.
Yeah, that sounds good. You can come and go as you wish.
I'll stay in the spectate then.
All right, moving into.
I might dip for now myself, but
okay.
I'd be happy to join on comms someday if you're looking to like have people on.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be cool.
Do you have a commentator role on my server?
I don't think so on this one, no.
Let me toss that onto you.
I will skip 1 set and then I'll be on comms until like maybe 6, until maybe like 6:30.
Yeah, gotcha. Right, but so shall it be. Thank you so much for the match and for the the on-call commentary on your.
Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. It was a good laugh.
Yeah, it's always fun stuff to watch. Yeah, thank you so much.
And I shall dip for now. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Right, next one we got oh yeah, I forgot to confirm because I think MOB did say that they potentially weren't able to play yet. Let me figure that one out. We had MoB say that they potentially needed a later slot, which is technically difficult. This particular event had a lot of like really specific timings in terms of where players could find their matches. Oh, never mind. Okay, MoB says we can play now. Right, no worries. We got MoB, we got Leif, Testament versus Sin action. A match that is definitely very, very close to yours truly's heart. These are two characters that I have personally mained at one point or another in my Guilty Gear Strive journey. A very fun matchup to play as well. Of course, you know, Testament quite strong with a keep away. However, Testament does have that two-stage sort of gameplay, which causes them to play a little slower than many other characters. And the meta has been, you know, historically for Guilty Gear Strive is the faster you snowball, the harder you go into, the faster you go into your victory condition, the better for you, because, you know, Guilty Gear Strive is all about that snowball and all about that momentum, aggressiveness. There's very little time for you to set up stuff when the opponent just always wants to come for you and hit you and do a shit ton of damage. Let's see how it's gonna go here. Into the plus frames of the up, Grave Reaper getting a counter hit there. But speaking of counter hits, we got the close slash, BMB for Sin, big damage. Even though Sin is not necessarily like the hardest damage dealer in the game, I think his overall damage is quite high. So every single hit that you're gonna score at least leads into something, be it like, you know, just Beak Driver into a follow-up if you have stamina, and of course if you have the 50 meter, most hits for Sin are gonna go into a wall break. Either that, you know, Kara Tyrant Barrel or Kara RTL. Oh, good check there. Even though what was really far away, that 2K from Sin actually reached still. Ooh, the hoop stomp barely ends up missing there. And now switching position, here we go with the Elk Hunt. Skip the neutral if the opponent is not ready to check it. Of course, the grounded Grave Reaper, the S Reaper, is a very powerful tool. Very layer 1 tool for preventing Sin from coming in on the ground with that Beak Driver. But for now, Leif does find... Oh, I forgot to also flip this into the... whatchamacallit. Where do you do that? Settings? No? There we go. Flip it back to a rematch because we are done with the random select match. Right, back into it. Leif with 1 game lead. But this is, of course, only the starting point of the set. Usually the time when you feel out your opponent, what kind of tools they tend to lean on, what kind of decision-making they tend to employ in RPS situations. And RPS in this matchup specifically is very, very delicate, because once you get close to Testament, they really can't get out of that pressure very... Ooh, the low profile hit actually registers before the strike portion of the heavy Grave Reaper. I think especially with the up Grave Reaper, the heavy fireball, it's it's slightly easier to, you know, counter poke that or even low profile that from certain ranges than the S-Cray Reaper. Both the Reapers are very peculiar kind of tools where they are a fireball that has a strike component to them to start with. Here we go, the fully charged 5D, gets a reaction check. Not quite able to finish it. That last hit is always the most important one. If you manage to land it, it does give you positive bonus and an ample amount of frame advantage as well. We got the super. That's slightly unfortunate there. Usually on that wall break, if you buffer up your Kara super, it's hard to like sort of unfuck that situation if you're, you know, if you're not a seasoned Sin player, which often, you know, you're not gonna lose the super, but you're gonna lose an extra bar of stamina in those situations. Nevertheless, Leif grabs that round. Yoink it, yoink. Oh, there we go with the advantage. 2K, the DLC 2K of Testaments. Get the position to the other side. Big value here, fakes the position. Oh, just dancing around, looking so good for MoB this round. With the instant air dash, jump heavy gets you in there. Wire C to get off. We still have a lot of resources for both players. Both players with their full bursts here. And I think for Leif, yeah, I was about to say for Leif, that blue burst is no longer an option here. Because even if you burst, it's like, what is it gonna get you? It's gonna send Testament back to full screen. You're technically still in the neutral situation. So your best bet would be try to get next to Testament and then burn that stamina meter for Red Wild Assault instead and try to sort of just suffocate them, keep them in the pressure string. Alas, not working out this time. Ooh, Big Driver outspaces the Too Heavy from Testament. Of course, Too Heavy from Testament is extremely... Oh, I love that. The aggressive dash forward and the Elk, two tools that can mess up with the tracking of Arbiter Sign. Right, gets the teleport out of the corner, trade favorably with that 2S. But not getting pressure out of it. Let's see if we get pressure with that. Ooh, wait a second, that was a delayed 2K. Usually wire C into 2K should be an airtight string, I think, unless the spacing there was too far. Right, trying to whiff punish the round start 2S from Testament, and here we go, the 2K again. We saw that 2K being able to actually low profile under Hoof and then punish Hoof. That is a very peculiar timing-based interaction that can happen. It can go in any player's favor, depending on, you know, the cancel timing. So there's a lot of very delicate time in RBS there. Ooh, 6B does go under Big Driver and gets MoB, the first leading position of this set. Leif started with a win, but perhaps we figured something out here, how to keep the control of this set. But of course, this matchup is very delicate and it can go back and forth on a moment's notice, especially when, you know, Sin gets on the driver's seat. Good block on the overhead. Able to get there before the Arbiter Sign recovers. Good check there after the Elk Hunt and the Gazelle Step. Technically, every single time Sin employs a Gazelle Step as a follow-up from his special moves, it can be reaction punished with a throw. Except from that Elk 2, which is plus a ridiculous amount, so that tool right there. Right, with an aggressive mash, able to trade into the Hoof Stomp once again. That's usually a favorable thing for the defending player, because if you know, generally players don't like to be sort of trading out of their own pressure, right? The Too Heavy ends up actually low profiling enough. And big frame trap here is basically an opportunity to deal as much damage as you can humanly do before the wall break. Too bad for MoB that they didn't quite get to the 50 meter before that. Finds another really great hit. Just to send the neutral crow, which does not limit Leif's marching forward. This could be a big comeback. But we need to play this super clean, the Too Heavy, too far away, allowing MoB to trade into it with a 2S. 2 is another really disjointed move for our zoning friend here, Testament. as you might imagine, it's not just the fireballs that, you know, prove really difficult to get close to as far as this character is considered. It's also the massive reach on their far slash, the great hitbox slash startup combination of 2S, and of course the DLC 2K that you usually start seeing, you know, coming out as a close range defensive maneuver, or if you get the curse on. It's a very common, like perhaps one of the most common neutrals for Testament to try to fish with if you have installed that what's it called, the stain pop on the opponent. Because 2K is technically Testament's safest normal. Very low profiling, very fast to recover, nigh impossible to whip punish. Right, speaking of that stain pop, there we go, pop it with 2K, and then it's still, even though 2K is such a low attack level move, it does, through the special mechanic of stain, it gives you a massive amount of frame advantage, even on block. A whip punish attempt here. Go quite fast enough to get the true punish. There we go, the 2K from really far range. If I recall correctly, the 2K from Testament doesn't have a lot of disjoint frames at all, but everything else about it is very top notch. There we go, we'll be able to snap the Succubus Super at the end there, getting the optimal wall break. So this not only gets you a hard knockdown, but also stain when moving into the next screen. Chose to not strike there at all, perhaps scared of Leif's, you know, big toolkit of reversals. Of course, he not only has the DP, but also a reversal RTL, a forward-moving super that can mess up your, you know, high-low far-range game. Speaking of the devil, here it comes. Do we have the counterplay? No, just spending the purple option to save yourself, being as safe as possible. But unfortunately, being safe in this situation, not enough. Mob plowing forward with a 4-game winning streak here. I think a little bit of extra knowledge from the Sin point of view for this matchup. It's one of those matchups where you actually love using your beak driver a lot. I think this is probably one of my favorite matchup for showcasing like how much beak driver can do for Sin Kisk. Even though it's not technically the powerful beast that it used to be in the past, in the older game Exert, where it was, you know, honestly one of the most absurd fighting game moves of all time. It is still, it fulfills certain niche roles in Guilty Gear Strive, and this matchup in particular gives, you know, opens up possibilities to access Testament on certain frame situations, on certain spacings, and being able to sort of tap Testament out of the startups of many fireballs, especially the up fireball. So what is the situation here? So Leif taking a small break, small breather, which is, of course, a very smart thing to do. If you get caught in the, whatchamacallit, the momentum, the sweeping waves of momentum of the opponent, perhaps the best and the smartest thing you could do is take a little bit of a breather, put them on ice, and try to sort of reverse the ongoing flow that is happening on the screen. Especially if you can remember all the RPS options that you played, all the situations that occurred, you can kinda reflect back on those and be like, all right, did I have some other options that I could have played? Are there, you know, other ways I could have perhaps found more success in that set? And now we get to see, does any of that pay off for Leif? Once again, able to dodge the initial round start poke from Testament, but you usually like have to strike very fast if you wanna whiff punish those, you know, S or especially K buttons on round start. Now holding down the corner. It's a very good idea on the Beak Driver. If MoB ended up doing anything but backdashing, that would have actually found its mark. Lights with, ooh, that was a good trade. Technically good trade for Leif, for you got rid of the stain, but then on the other hand, did take Leif super low health. Now this time, instead just dashing forward aggressively, grabbing Leif out of the large star situation. I think Leif tried to bait a burst here from MoB, ended up having the burst themselves. However, now both players have spent theirs, and there's the power of Beak Driver coming through. Gets the knockdown, gets the pressure sequence. We're not gonna have the heart knockdown here, but I think Sin is kind of okay in this matchup, just being disengaged into the footsie situation. This isn't exactly like the Asuka matchup or the Happy Chaos matchup for Sin. You're kind of like you're okay playing neutral in this one still. So, you know, you're not gonna be sad about having to take a soft knockdown on the wall. Ooh, very nice instant air dash. Even though you didn't get a hard punish, it's always a big thing to get close to the Testament player. There we go, with punish with the Beak Driver once again. That Beak Driver seems to be working for sure. The low Arbiter. Oh, and the aggressive dash forward there, screwing up the tracking of that beast. It's usually the situations where the Arbiter sign comes up as like pseudo-meaty, where it's kind of like very hard or impossible to escape. But if you're at neutral, you can always dash forward and screw the tracking up. Yeah, speaking of those situations, in these situations, you kind of have to take it, and the fake out there sends the low Arbiter RC into a high Arbiter, playing a little bit of cheeky games here to take this game number 6 here, MoB. It is, of course, the Arbiter sign, not the most hard-hitting tool by any means. It's basically just another fireball. But you know, those fireballs will start stacking up, especially towards the end of the round, when you have like maybe 1/3, 1/4 of your life left. That's like really the place where you have to start thinking, all right, I can't fuck around with this high-low anymore. I actually probably have to just react to it. Especially when, there we go, the Beak Driver again. See Fireball from Testament. If they try to throw another Fireball, then Beak Driver is the key. Gets a 6B, no cancel though. Fakes a possession, but I think the Succubus marker had already expired, so there was nowhere to teleport to. Succubus marker is online, goes offline, and good pressure from Leif coming through. Yeah, just basic stuff. 5 heavy, 2 heavy, into your pseudo high-low, hoof elk. The very basis of, you know, ever since starter kit when you get into playing this character. Nice, I like that, the aggressive dash forward. You have to have the courage to perhaps dash forward, to dash block a lot in matchups like these. You know, Testament, Axel, dash blocking really strong for characters such as like, in fighters such as like Sin Kisk. Ooh, the second hit ends up registering as a hit initially. A little late on the clean hit, but we still got it. Reversal super possibility is on board, or perhaps some YRC. Let's see what MoB ends up choosing. Just chooses up to hold it, and you know, just not taking any unnecessary risks. Just waits it out. You know, do I have an opportunity to perhaps use my normals here? Speaking of those normals, the heavier actually, it's funny with the stain mechanic. The heavier your attack level is, the less frame advantage you're gonna get from the stain pop. Ooh, but Leif staying very mobile. All of those trackings of those Arbiter signs are gonna be screwed. Strike throw is the name of the game. Close slash, yes indeed, this is the hypest gameplay of Guilty Gear Strive. This is basically the heart of Guilty Gear Strive. And Sin being basically a strike throw character is like a kind of like a strike throw character with a little bit of hint of high-low, but at its core, at his core, Sin Kisk is just a standard, you know, mid peddler. Is it strike? Is it throw? A la Giovanna, a la, you know, Soul Bad Guy, a la Kai Kisk. That's the gameplay that you're usually most happy to be able to initiate. Close slash, and then strike throw. And especially since Sin is blessed with so many metered pressure resets, you know, you can use your stamina to pressure reset, you can use your, you know, of course, your meter to efficiently pressure reset, but you can also use, you know, burst. It's the existence of the calories, or rather the stamina pressure resets, that kinda puts Sin above many other characters when it comes to keeping pressure alive. So Sin is one of those characters who can really stick in those strike throw situations for a long time here. Now MOB going for a big RPS read here on the beat driver, teleporting to the succubus marker. We could potentially see the same RPS again. Yes, chooses to take the teleport. And in a lot of those cases, if you already committed as the other player, if you committed to the dash or a jump or something like that, Testament is gonna get that safe position out and switch positions with you. But now into the overhead. Cashing out with RC. Are we gonna get the wall break? Not quite, but perhaps not getting the wall break is the best option here. Couple of stray hits. Very, very sort of the super. Round start. Elkhunt catches the backdash. Would have to use a low-profile move to catch that one. One interesting benefit on in the round start situations for Elkhunt that is it tends to go under bar slashes. It is it is fast enough to start on bar slashes slower than, or rather faster than 10 frames. There we go with the pressure resets we were talking about. Spend the Wild Assault, keep in there. Ooh, but that was too far, and MOB didn't utilize the 10 frames to go into an airtight sequence. Now Leif, ooh, this life advantage could vaporize very fast here, trying to send out the neutral crow. However, that is a very, very predictive kind of a tool. With that neutral crow, instead of steering the crow towards the succubus marker, MOB was basically saying, oh, okay, I think you're gonna jump here. Because usually if you send the crow downwards, the opponent can jump out of that, and as a heart rate, Testament players can choose to instead not homing on the bird. But alas, that time Leif did actually stick to the ground and then able to cover the distance and get into the striking position there. It is always like, basically, it might seem that Testament is just throwing out a lot of free fireballs, but that is never, never, ever the case in this matchup. If your opponent has far-ranging pokes as well. Ooh, that's a big counter hit. First coming up for Leif. We go into that strike throw. Tap on the dast. We have the 50 meter to convert as well. Quick wall break and positive bonus coming in. Now this will at very least gain 50 tension. In fact, 75 here for Leif. Switches positions. Not quite having the RTL meter, but don't need to. With this boy, we can always play ourselves into the close meter situation. It was a very aggressive front start dash from MOB. DP gets out of that strike throw. The most common strike throw for Testament is usually, if you manage to connect your too heavy, it vacuums you in, and then it's like either into a stroke. I love that! The dash again! Screwing up with the Arbiter sign! Tracking straight in there. BNB combo, heart knockdown, and now what? YRC baits it! No resources for you! And look at this now, MOB has a very low amount of life, and there we go with the Elkhunt. Gets in there. Leif is totally dead set on getting this, you know, getting this matchup still back on track. From a very difficult situation, 1-5, able to flip it around, and the comeback is definitely, I can see it, the vision. One more game to bring it even. So indeed, remember what happened. Leif took that little bit of a break, that 2 minutes, came out of the lobby, just said, no, I'm not gonna just retry. I'm not gonna hit the button. I'm not gonna go into the next match, mashing the salty retry. Leif came back, thought a little, and that was basically a complete momentum reversal here. Take notes, my fellow gamers. All right, but this, ooh, not quite getting the finisher. Now, it is a little tricky of a situation for Leif. However, it's getting better moment by moment. Any hit is gonna be the death of Leif. Able to get the throw in there. One combo. But MoB guesses right on the strike throw. After all, the throw option is very risky if you think about it. Speaking of, whipping throws puts you in counter hit state, which allows some, extra oomph for combos. Speaking of those counter hits, one more combo to take this round. Reset the pressure. We have one more stamina. And there we go. All the pressure, all the resources are gone from Leif, and so is the pressure position now. Perhaps MoB's opportunity to turn it around. However, the clean instant air dash gets in there. Well spaced, too heavy. I love that. The footsies game. And you need to take the wall break with an arbiter here, saving the super for the next screen. We're gonna be really careful here. Gold burst, but it takes a little while for that positive bonus to kick in terms of tension economy. Luckily, MoB ends up not needing any of that. And puts himself in the 6th position now. This is starting to be a little uncomfortable perhaps for Leif. Even though Leif had a really successful looking comeback here, this is technically 3 games that you gotta win in a row now to get that 7 before MoB here. The Reapers are very well spaced. Oh, I'm actually surprised that Big Driver ended up whipping there. 5 BP, perhaps as a frame kill, but here comes... Oh, wait a minute! Sin? that burst didn't send Sin to the corner. I think it's a forward moving momentum of the DP, allowing Leif to get out of that sticky situation, but still, the damage had been done, and the life lead is massive. MoB on his first set point here. Yeah, chooses the fireball correctly. Up fireball when you get a hit with that. Look at that, that's half of Sin's life. You wouldn't think that, without staying, Testament can get a lot of big, hard-hitting combos, but the up fireball, the heavy Grave Reaper, is one of those. If you can hard read them jumping into you, you get a lot of damage. Important 2S coming through here. Do we have the car cancel? Not quite. We are 0 stamina, but Sin can always substitute the meter for stamina. Oh, the timing RPS, the 2S. MoB had the right read. He thought the elk was coming, so he went for the 2S, one of the safest way to fish for that in combination with 2 heavy. But Leif chose the timing perfectly to whiff punish instead. Stain pop here, but yeah, that 6 heavy doesn't give you too much frame advantage on the Stain pop. Counter hit. Do we have the Kara Super? Yes, indeed. The Sin Kisk family secret. Rather, the Kiss family. I mean, technically, Kai doesn't have Kara cancel, so I guess it's just the Sun. But the overhead, the double overhead, is gonna end up taking the set for MoB. Very close set though, and I was so proud of Leif actually. Like I think that's during my commentator career, that's one of the few opportunities, like one of the few situations where somebody actually says like, all right, let me take a breather, and is able to flip the momentum around. Super proud of Leif for, recognizing that we are in a perhaps bad mental state here, taking a couple of seconds to breathe, and then able to make it very interesting still. That was a really great hustle there. Oakley dokily. Moving onwards, what do we got next? Let me actually... so there were some schedule changes. Let me bring you back to this screen. So Maunuri and Poki said that they needed to play 2 games earlier, so that would mean that we play McNuggleton versus Ponytail next, and then the game after that would be Maunuri versus Poki, if I'm reading this correctly. And then Horizon asked, are we 6th? And that would be correct. So then Wilku versus Horizon would be in the 6th slot. Okay. So next match is still per schedule. McNuggleton, one of the iron regulars of not only bounty hunters but the whole competitive fighting game scene of Europe as far as Strive is concerned. PonytailFC, a very interesting player. We've seen them couple of times on bounty hunters. All of those extremely exciting matches. And coming back once again, how long has it actually been? Let me check my cheat sheet. So last time we saw Ponytail was back in like start of like 2023. So it's definitely been a while. And technically, I guess this is the second game that PonytailFC ever plays on Bounty Hunter with that clean record of 1-0. I mean, kind of like a boxing record. Still undefeated in the ring. The Potemkin returns. The character you don't see very often. I mean, I guess you see Potemkin decently often still on just about any skill level. Now, McNuggleton also has had, you know, decently large gaps in when they appear on the screen. Super, ooh, with the big combos right off the bat. I think you have to give it to Baiken. Baiken is like the queen of air-to-air combos. Like she has some difficulties on the ground ones, like her S buttons are a little difficult. Ooh, that was a clean instant air dash jump. He getting in there before the up crab does from Potemkin. Jumping over. Oh, recovering in the air and able to come down with the cheeks. But now we are still in the mix-up position because we have that 50-meter. And if you are in the TK Yosen range, you have to guess. You potentially have to guess depending on the frame situation. Right, resets the Bull Wild Assault into the Escabari, giving you plus frames, giving you lots and lots firepower on your potential next mix-up hit. And McNuggleton taking advantage of all of that. Going low here. I think if actually all of that was blocked, McNuggleton would have actually built the 50-meter on that positive bonus and would have been able to confirm out the overhead hit as well. Now with the massive amount of meter, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna reversal? No, backdash. Desperately trying to get some sort of breathing room here. Ooh, the jump D actually able to hold the momentum in the air, not falling into the gunshot, and like that, McNuggleton is gonna take the first game here with a relatively commanding presence. It was that one pressure situation at the end there that Ponytail was able to mount. But other than that, it's been pretty decent control from our you know, mid-range. What would you classify a Baiken even as? Like mid-range mix-up machine? She has a lot of like
a grumpy samurai woman.
Sorry?
A grumpy samurai woman.
Yeah, that is definitely a character archetype. I mean, you know, a lot of Guilty Gear characters can almost be their own archetypes because, you know, characters in Guilty Gear are just that quirky.
And that's really a real big charm of the series, right? Like, when you think of Guilty Gear, you probably think of all the characters that exist, like Baiken, Potemkin, Daisy, Kai, Soul, like really big personalities, like a lot of charm and a lot of work with them.
Yeah. Slayer is like, what kind of, like, there really ain't no character that plays like Slayer in just about like any fighting game. I mean, you have the launch type moves available, but such a quirky design, especially like the old Slayer.
Yeah, and Random 2 who's coming to Strive soon. Right? Also a very unique character, setting up balls on the screen and then basically doing whatever he wants with them.
Like, how many times have you seen a fighting game character that has like complete like physics system around their fireballs, whereas if the fireballs collide with other fireballs or walls, they here we go with the reversal super upwards we go. Ponytail. I think this was not a kill, right? Yeah, this is just the start of the round, so we need to guess right way many times. And with that low amount of life, there's the mid-far range 2S that does not, unfortunately, convert for Baiken unless you have meter. Ooh, nice dancing around. Tried to go for a throw there. I think out of that instant air dash into the Yozan, it probably is going to be slightly minus for Baiken. That's why
I think so too. It needs to be cancelled pretty late to be plus.
Yeah.
Well, when it is plus, it's pretty strong. So definitely gotta watch out for that when you fight against Baiken, because that close slash counter it does hurt. Baiken does a lot of damage.
Yeah. It's like she has difficulties converting from like mid-range, but from those, you know, prime striking distances, she more than makes up for it.
Yeah, Pot no slouch. Pot doesn't no slouch either, right? Pot does so much damage when he does get the right hits, but sometimes it takes him a while to get those hits.
Yeah.
But when he does,
Escabari straight into the back Mega Fist, trying to nullify the pressure built by the Escabari. Oh, I wonder, probably wanted to go for a bigger combo, but the Escabari ended up detaching their mid-combo. Speaking of that damage,
McNuggleton tried to go for the clean hit gun, but the rope detaching sent Ponytail way further back than Nuggleton anticipated, and that dropped the combo. So McNuggleton now on the back foot, it's going to be real dangerous, tries to stay safe with the Wild Assault and then spend that burst offensively. It's a 5P counter hit.
5P Kusoneka, how often do you get to see that? Now, this Gigantor, yeah, is going to basically go full screen. Giving up a lot of life in order to... Big heart rate there on the instant air dash! And Ponytail puts himself on board here. Not too late for sure. 1-2 situation.
Mankind knew that. Duel 1.
Yeah, you do always want to put yourself on the board early, right? Because you don't want to be the person who's behind. Of course, when you do that comeback, it is really hype, but in the game, you don't really want to be the person who is behind, because then you're sweating like, oh, it's my last chance, and it does influence your decision.
Yeah, if we strictly talk about like the psychological aspects of, you know, understanding what the score situation is right now. Of course, if you're like 5 games behind, that's not gonna be great. Ooh, speaking of being behind, being way far enough to allow the reversal super to connect there. Escabari, and now, how many seconds is that Escabari? It does stay attached for quite a long time, but I guess if you want to do the most optimal combos, you would need to get the hit immediately.
I would assume like most things in Strive, it's 5 seconds. Like basically most supers last 5 seconds, or did when the game released. Some of them have changed.
Yeah.
Like Asuka Auto Bookmark is 5 seconds, Chaos Focus Super is 5 seconds.
And of course, the combos themselves last for decently long because of the funky physics of the Escabari. Ooh, the jump heavy backwards hitting hitbox, getting Ponytail some decent value here. Chip damage, danger. It was, you know, no matter what you do there, it's not a great place to be. And McNuggleton definitely didn't want to spend the burst there. Ooh, accidental anti-air from that heavy Kabari. Pushing Ponytail into the corner. We don't quite have the 50-meter yet, and immediately as we do, into the instant overhead mix-up. Nice challenge there. The far slash, the upwards. Hitting far slash, able to take Baiken out of the sky, but for how long? Ponytail, lots of resources here. Deflect shield is the first one burned, but we're still in the corner. An airborne hit. There's the same Yozan kind of situation that you and Marisa had there. If the opponent is airborne, it almost does not matter if they, like, what happens, even if they block it. It's probably going to be plus for you, and then you get to press again.
Yeah, I think it's 3-1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so McNuggleton does have to lead, which you do definitely want on Baiken, because that can happen, and there goes half your health bar. And the corner against Pot, that is never where you want to be, because Pot, we always joke about Pot being comfortable in both corners, like when he's blocking and when you're blocking. Because when he's blocking like this, you can just backwards Mega Fist, and if he does counter it, yeah, like that, does counter at you, that is going to be a world of hurt. Not wall sticking, so it's not going to kill the 5. He's going to seal the deal.
God, those combo routes that Ponytail is doing, it's kind of like I think it's the caught-up Mega Fist kind of skipping a hop to the other side. Looks really, really funky for a side switching. Ooh, but that's going to be punished, right? Far slash, though. Got a probably an accidental backdash there, McNuggleton. Nice, perfectly placed, far slash, and we got the juice. Here's the high-low, low option here. Misses the ender, so Ponytail able to push it for now. Very low resources though. And, you know, in Guilty Gear, meter is everything. Come here with the advantageous situation. Misses the combo again, but we got 50 more ready to go. RC in there, but the back Mega Fish defensively once again. Sort of remedying the situation for a while. Ooh, that's a counter hit. Maybe a little too far away. 50, and we could have actually converted that. Good situational awareness for McNuggleton. Always understanding that I am still in a strike throw situation and ready to counterplay that. Ooh, but now you're here with me. The Kabari attached. Ooh, goes for... Wait. Oh, we connected on airborne, I think, so... Led to Ponytail being actually plus there. Up crab misses. To the other side. Both players with a lot of resources to spend. That's still on armor. McNuggleton not able to grab it. A little bit of kiss here on the... Ooh, but the air-to-air. Not quite getting the full conversion. However, counter hit. This is gonna be big. Able to attach the Escabari. And McNuggleton still even has 50 meter after this. Into. Whoa! No, not getting the mix-up that they wanted. Ponytail not believing in the situation at all. Look, I'll just try to... This looks tough. I'll just try to throw. And the throw ends up working.
Yeah, sometimes the PRC RPS is like, it starts out when you're at the lower level, right? We all have been there. It's like, if forward, PRC it's always grab. And then the person that you're opposing starts to jump. And then in response to that, you can start grabbing again sometimes when they stop jumping and trying to punish your jump. As I imagine what's happened there. But the rope's gonna be... Oh, what an air throw. Not, as Jonesy likes to call it, the untreakables, the JD.
Ooh, hello. Going for the super PRC to get out of there for now. But McNuggleton, still 50 meter. Oh, is that gonna whiz? That's actually gonna whip and get a far slash punish. McNuggleton has been, like, during this set, I think the, like, most amazing thing that McNuggleton has done from my point of view is aiming the landing frames of Potemkin. Like, a lot of Potemkin's strikes are kind of hard to challenge because they have good hitboxes, but then, like, on the landing, for example, from Mega Fist, on the recovery of, like, heavy buttons, like, all of that is punishable, and McNuggleton has been pretty actively catching those. Now out of the corner with the Yozan, attach Escabari, jump out, however, Potemkin is the one that lands first and going for... I wonder if that was just your BNB combo or if PonytailFC had like a special conversion there out of the Escabari attached. Punish. Yummy yummy, close slash, we take those. And now... What's it gonna be? High or low? Or we can do some shenanigans with the momentum. Burst does triumph all, goes through super, so good timing there on Ponytail, but now basically 0 life and only 50 bursts or 50 tension and a dream. That dream does not carry far enough, so McNuggleton getting a 4-2 lead here.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah, McNuggleton, the Viking definitely wants to keep the pressure on the bottom. That's exactly what that burst is, right? You don't get hit by Pot, you're like, I don't want to be here and base the burst. Pot also didn't want to be there, but sometimes we just gotta stick out the stuff we don't like.
Oh my god, the air-to-airs, every single hit! McNuggleton only limited by the wall damage here, but no longer. This is a fresh wall. RC, yes, you already know it. With that amount of resources, can end up the finish the round in like 10 or more different ways.
Yeah, one of those 10 different ways is gonna be that JS, which is like probably more like the 5 out of 10 ways Viking wins the round. That Viking, I lovingly call it the taxpayer button because they work for having that. And gets the command grab with the super PRC. I don't think this kills. Oh, drops the combo, but that close slash will kill.
A combo drop or a reset. You know, some players are nasty like that, where they kind of purposely fake the combo drop, but then actually have a reset planned out there, especially when you're trying to sort of avoid getting the wall. Right.
Gets a good read with the heat knuckle, but McNuggleton ready. Oh, get out the parry right in the face. No reaction from Ponytail. That was really. I was a bit waiting a bit for McNuggleton there, but now it's 50 meter almost available. There is Ponytail who blocks the overhead and now gets a chance to cut their own off, and when this gets outbot, the 2S is gonna beat out the 6P, and that should be the round. Yeah.
Damn, that was a lot of patience for Ponytail. I would have personally cracked under the pressure and be like, oh Christ, I have 50 meters of YRC, get me out of this wild ride. But persevering all the way to the end, it is a value proposition if you are able to get out of that pressure sequence without having to resort to your resources. Then your offensive sequence is gonna be that much scarier afterwards.
Yeah, but equally you don't want to be overly greedy, because you might end up dying with that full stick of butter, which happens more often than people would like to admit. But Almer's through and does get the combo. I think this, yeah, I don't even think this just kills.
Big damage. It's like every single combo that Ponytail has gotten in the corner has delivered for sure. Now McNuggleton recognizes that I think the non-Garuda into a Garuda can in fact be jumped or backdashed out of that range. From the 2D. Oh! Into another one. Yes, indeed. Keep it simple. Strike throw, baby. And Potemkin making the strike throw often looks so easy when you're working with your Garuda impact. No longer gone are the days of just having to go like raw strike throw. We can combine it up with a special move that basically disallows the opponent from playing the game. How about that?
Yeah, disallow is what we want to do with the bike in here. Nuggles in the corner, and we're just going to try to go for the pop buster again. He tackled to catch out with the JH, I imagine, because the 6P would have lost. Recognition from Ponytail, but maybe a bit risky, does cause the burst. And now in the corner with none of it.
And the Escabari, here's where it starts. Got a lot of work to be done. However, with that Escabari attached, does get an opportunity to go for a meterless combo there. I imagine drop the combo purposely before the wall break becomes an issue. Oh, did it punish? No! And still, there's no really easy way out of there, but McNuggleton actually clears it! Holy shit! Able to completely avoid the wall. That is basically 3 hits of super advancing all the way through the screen. Like, even if Potemkin is standing on the other side of the screen, it will still travel all the way, and McNuggleton somehow able to just completely avoid it.
Oh, and gets the 6K hit directly into the guts of Potemkin, but no combo confirm, and that Ponytail will immediately use that, get the heat knuckle. But heat knuckle does not get real Oki for Potemkin, which I think will change in the next patch. Have we seen he gets better Oki from Pop Buster? So maybe we'll see. It is apparently a very, very big patch. Just like Potemkin is a really big boy that we're gonna have to burst out. McNuggleton believing in this round.
The jumpy getting in there before any of Potemkin's button. Recovers in the air, but again, McNuggleton very good at sniping that landing frame. Every single jump-in situation is kind of like a small mini RPS, because Potemkin could always go for the jump D that delays your air momentum, and it's very hard to challenge. One more. If the Garuda connects, no, that's actually reach. I mean, granted, McNuggleton did have the FD there, so even if the Garuda makes a connection, it is not gonna chip him out. However,
Duel 1.
whew,
Let's rock.
McNuggleton arriving to the 6 point. Looking strong as ever. There's the jump in RPS once again from Potemkin. Always has been strong, always continues to be strong. The hard read, heat tackle, knapping McNuggleton out of the sky and now into this pressure sequence. Forward moving Mega Fists, not unfortunately a plus. But now McNuggleton, ooh, the whip punish with Hammer Fall. All right, that does the job for sure.
Yeah, as long as the tool works, there's no such thing as a bad play if it works. There's some people say I don't agree with it, but sometimes it's correct.
It's
back.
Into It's a cool little combo here. Following up with a Potemkin Buster that's gonna take most of McNuggleton's life. It actually, I think it kills. Yeah, it kills. The guaranteed damage here from the wall break. Really great presence of mind from Ponytail, recognizing that, you know, when I was looking at the health meter of McNuggleton's, I was like, all right, maybe this is not a kill, maybe this is not worth spending your resources, but I mean, when you're the big damage, big body character that is basically a what do we call the archetype? The one shot, that's the one. When you're a one-shot character and you get the shot, you better make it count. And speaking of making it count, missing the conversion here, but as one of the sages of our time did say, happy little accidents convert it into a reset instead if you accidentally drop it.
Yeah, we don't. We make happy little accidents, so-called resets. Oh, sorry. Now burst out and keep the corner, and let's see if they can keep McNuggleton in. Ponytail struggling a bit, and McNuggleton is now out. Gonna use the RC to confirm further. It's not gonna do enough damage to kill, but one more reset in the corner might just do it, and that throw will not be enough still. And we're experiencing out but the 5p trades.
Yeah, unfortunately, position, even after the super PRC, unless you can like lock the opponent down into a throw animation, you are still in the corner technically. And now this will be the first set point round here for McNuggleton. If like shield does clear out any sort of potential high-lows coming in there. The interception, ooh, that goes into a 6 heavy, all right. Hard read here, swinging a miss, and that miss is gonna cost Ponytail all of their tension resources moving forward, whereas McNuggleton is gonna get so many here. Around like 30 tension and positive bonus means that next hit you're gonna have access to your high-low. Is that it? 100 meter? Into? Big bang, another one! No, it's gonna whip! But the distance, only getting a 5 heavy. Get the insurance in there. McNuggleton, of course, taking it easy. Checking if Ponytail wants to hang themselves on that. We got the knockdown. We got the counter hit. That's actually, if it doesn't drop. Oh no, it's not enough. Does that loop actually not convert into a kill? Damn. Was a really close attempt though. Went for the recent attempt there on the throw, but even then, McNuggleton was ready, ever so ready for everything. Clearing the matchup 7-4 in the usual McNuggleton fashion.
McNuggleton biking isn't something I've seen. It's something I haven't seen in a very long time, actually.
Yeah, McNuggleton has been like taking a couple of breaks here and there, but looking like they're definitely as sharp as ever. And let's see. So the next one. So we're gonna do Maunuri versus Poki next, unless I'm mistaken. Let me.
I can stay one more and then I need to prep my own stream.
Gotcha. Well, what better match to stay for than this one? I can hype it up a little in a sec. Let me message the players. I think we already got Maunuri on board.
Well, I can talk about the Leif and Maruan match. That one I watched while eating, and that one was really close. Like, that was a good and close set. Definitely one of those where you like sit there and go, like that was so tight. If they had confirmed this and that, right? The usual, and I don't mean this in any very bad way, but like when people don't have a full grasp on all the game and mechanics and all the awareness yet, you really do get excited as a viewer. But like when they make that progress and when they do hit that stuff, and Leif definitely after the break did a bunch of stuff way better than before.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is a little anecdote, but at my local, we had like a high-level set going on, but everybody was just watching the two new people just duke it out because it was so interesting to watch them. Like, when they finally did the RC, the entire venue popped off. It was really fun.
I can kind of attest to that same kind of stuff in the Finnish FGC. We have a lot of like players who have come from very humble beginnings, beginner starters, like for example Hopland being one of those. Started out very, at the bottom of the food chain, but literally the whole FG, or like the Finnish FGC has been like just cheering Hopland on, feeding them tech, and now they're finally like getting up there with the best of them. Those are, I think, way more interesting success stories than maybe just, following the top dog of the community, take another tournament, dissect all the opposition. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all. But newcomers? Hype shit, for sure.
It's like the uncertainty makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
Because when they do hit that combo, you're like the most excited person in the venue, right? Oh my god, they hit that combo, that was sick, dude.
And what I really love about Strive is that Strive is a great game at enabling newer players. It's definitely not like Exert, where when I watch a match of Exert, I can usually tell fairly accurately like what skill level match this is. And like if it's like rookie or even like early intermediate, the matches don't tend to be that exciting because the game is so technical and it takes so much, effort to just do your BNB stuff. But Guilty Gear Strive has kind of omitted that with its design, and it's way faster to get onto into the heat of things as a new player, and that's probably one of the best things of this game as esports.
I do always wonder, because people sometimes talk about the over competitive toxic guy, right? But I don't really see those existing at all. Usually what I see is like the best players going around and encouraging all the newer players to like keep playing and having fun. We're all in this together. We don't have an artificial barrier.
Yeah, maybe it's like the sort of bias when you're of course circling yourself in that like the good FGC. You want to circle yourself with like good personalities. So if you're already in there, then of course there's the supportive environment. Ooh, but Pokey with the backdash out of the throw. Now these are two fairly explosive characters. Kai usually needs the corner and or a starter with the heavy, whereas Anji generally just wants to hit something. They've really made Anji conversions like way more stable as the Guilty Gear Strive life has progressed from the beginning.
Yeah, and as characters go on, it's sometimes kind of funny to see people go like, "Oh my god, Anji does so much damage," and I'm like, "Yeah, he's always done this much damage. He's rarely got it."
Always has been. It's just like the different starters where he perhaps gets that damage has increased. Nice 5-beat tap there. Gonna again lead into the big damage. Ooh, drops the ender there. The wall is giving out soon. Forcing Pokey into a slightly awkward decision there to not take the hard wall break. And now Maunuri, make no mistake, Kai in this position might be very, very dangerous, although kind of lacking the 50-50 tension here that would have liked to have. And the Kara into the low follow-up of the Fujin. I mean, we also a rather new change on the Anji front. Tries to go for it again. Definitely increasing the active range of this character. Really great at combining that with the threat of the ever-looming threat of the dance, the spin. So sort of, if your opponent hesitates against the spin, perhaps they are open to like Kara, like Fujin into the low follow-up, or rather Fujin into Kara low follow-up, I suppose.
Which also full combos now, normal hit,
yep.
which is definitely above. That one still looks a bit modded to me, but so do all of Potemkin's combos. So the game's definitely getting a bit more crazy, and I enjoyed that. Like after playing Exert, I'm definitely. Season time does have the 100 meter, and we're going for the Kai Kisuke Classic, the strike throw, and another 6H.
Yeah. Oh, the 6H is actually the optimal OTG here. I guess the lesser Kisk player would have gone for the close slash instead, but Maunuri knows.
Lesser Kisk player is crazy.
It was a lot of Kiss gameplay there during that game. It's like when you have 100 meter, you're gonna see a lot of RTLs coming out from the Kiss boys in a lot of situations.
Yeah, but Pokey, that's gonna keep the pressure up, and that I do want to talk about the new patch because it's all around the corner, right? And Anji is gonna have that Fujin into Fujin cancel. They're slowly giving Anji the tools he kind of needs to counteract a lot of things because he does kind of struggle against fuzzy mashing, and that is what the spin does. The spin into spin.
Yeah, it's like Anji already has found his place kind of in. Oh, hello. You good? Anji kind of has found their place in like this current patch, but like I'm really scared for the future of this character with the things that are to come. Ooh, good use of FD there, pushing Pokey away from the immediate close range pressure, making them whiff. Ah, but there's the spin into the close slash, the holy grail of all Anji players. Anji players want exactly that one thing, and it's disgusting. Spin into close slash into big combo, and now what is Maunuri gonna do?
Walk all the overheads apparently and jump out, but the 5P is gonna keep them jail. Stay in the corner, I'm gonna have to RC to keep the pressure going, and there's the exact spin to beat the punish. To beat the mash.
I think the PRC does put you in a safe position here, but I think Maunuri tried to do something aggressive. Depending on like how fast your DP is and what the frame situation is, DP could be possible there, and mid-screen you might be able to backdash, but in that position, kinda hard to get anything out. Speaking of the position there, Pokey dancing outside of the poke range of Kai.
And that is also changed. Kai's getting mid-screen DP conversions from Shock Save, which is really cool.
That's I was looking for that for a very long time because like you like since the DP changes, you've been getting some cool combos out of the heavy DP, but it's like there was still a little bit extra place. There we go. That's what I was talking about. So I think because Kai has a slightly slower DP, that actually works out in your favor in that RPS maybe.
Yeah, in some situations you do want the slower DP because it does catch up some stuff that the others wouldn't. But most of the time you want the faster ones. And if you remember, Kai's DP used to be low profilable. By Anji TV, no less.
Yeah, it's been the sort of the historical plague of that DP. Interesting. Chooses to go into the wall slam setup with the butterfly. Finds the hit, 5k. Drops it on purpose, question mark? Plus 10. Pressure still continues. Maunuri's only defensive tool here could be perhaps DP or deflect shield. Wait, that ends up whipping! Maunuri still in the corner, trying to delay the momentum with the jump D, but that's no good! Pokey does not get bamboozled by the delayed move. I have that jump D too. Pokey is like, yeah, I can do that. I know that can happen. Let me just wait and, you know, make you hang yourself with that jump D, falling straight into the guaranteed punish.
Yeah, and Pokey has been spot on with those 5P anti-airs, wearing out the delays and then timing it, but has been getting hit by a lot of DPs and does spend the burst to stay in the corner, but the 6P will counter it, no conversion though. Jumps into the spin yet again. He's gonna have to hold this pressure once more, tries to go for the strike though. Maunuri trying to jump out, but gets the hit, and that orange wild assault getting a lot of screen space calls out the parry with the good old Keith Classic. Now that we used to call it the Keith Classic, right? But now we have two different Keiths in the game. Like, is it still the Keith Classic? Or will we have to refer to it as the Kai Special?
The conversion, and there's the heavy DP, perhaps getting even bigger combo next patch. We shall see. Ooh, that was from so far away, and of course you're gonna be spending the red wild assault. Transitions into the throw reset very fast. Pokey not taking the second one, however too close with the butterfly. I think the same plaguing feature for both of these characters. If you perform your fireball Pokey too close, I think jump K is out already, so that's gonna be a punish. RTL through the wall from mid-screen, and now Maunuri in a really great position here. Pokey would love to save that burst, but you know, that's a hard knockdown wall break. I think, realistically, in Guilty Gear Strive, in this current day patch, you can't hold on to those resources after that wall break. You have to get out of there immediately, somehow.
Which is nice because it has increased the decision making. It may generally, first of all, it makes rounds longer, which is nice because that means more play, and more play is nice when you want to watch it. And second of all, it makes more of the decisions pre-wall break. Like, do I want to wall break? Do I want to reset to keep the corner? Do I want to build more meter? That's exactly what Pokemaniac is going to have to decide here. But with 100 meter, resets. Tries to go for the BRC overhead, but misses it. Below does not open up. Maunuri, and if they get out here, and there's the degree. Yeah, this is their chance.
Yeah, looks like the time of failing that situation is over. Maunuri missed it once, and then all the times after that has gotten DP. However, now Poke with the combo. Once again, grasp a small lead. This is 2-2. Slightly, or rather similar amounts of resources here on both players, but Poke with 1 round a lead. Oh, that's a big one. Misses it. Gets another chance. Happy little accidents, as they said. Lots of damage coming through. Soft knockdown still, so okay. With that 9-frame far slash, I mean, Kai definitely has the further range on that button, but if we're talking about starting times, or rather startup times, Anji has the 9-framer. Wait, is it a 9-framer or is it a 10-framer?
I think Anji's is 10.
Yeah, it's...
What he does have is the 7 active close slash, which is like the backdash nightmare. Don't ever want to backdash Anji in the corner, because that close slash is super active, and was also active is Maunuri on the offense here, but 100 meter on Poke, and we're gonna jump over that. That beats it. That's crazy.
Damn! Showing us the stuff. I've never seen that interaction before, but that was exactly what Maunuri was fishing for. It was waiting for that. I think the downside is if you don't go for the parry super, then Poke could potentially like air throw or 6P. But I mean, hey, RPS, you have to, like, your options have to have their strengths and weaknesses. That's the law of fighting games.
And especially with the 100 meter on the opponent, you kind of like, often it's clear what they're going to do because it's just so strong to do 100 meter super PRC, right? Mm-hmm. But you do kind of want to counteract that with like general options like that jump JD, but that jump JD exactly there gets called out with the 5P.
And I think Poke is also like completely aware of that, the RPS. So every time he's not going for the reversal parry, he's ready to counter jump D potentially. That's a big punish. Ooh, fancy stuff there. Making sure that we do in fact carry into the corner. Oh, attempted the whip punish there, but the 5 heavy of Anji's not reaching far enough away that time. I guess that's like one of the biggest problems for Anji's buttons. They have decent hitboxes, but they don't reach very far. And from the late air dash back, overhead mix-up, straight into RTL. Was that a hit confirm, or did Maunuri just dial that?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give the player the benefit of the doubt. I think that is a hit confirm because from the air dash back, you're definitely looking for that because you can't really confirm into anything else. You're just looking, if it hits, I'm gonna do RTL, and you kind of buffer the input beforehand and then press the button if it hits.
Yeah. Ooh, nice jump out of the throw, and now setting up the heavy fireball. We got the option selling for both players, both whipping the throw and then saving yourself from the whip punish attempt. Right there to air, tried to convert into the butterfly. Oki, Maunuri says no, not this time. But we still get the butterfly. Overhead and have the 50 meter to convert as well. So Poke brings it 3 points even once again. One of the rarer Finnish players, Maunuri. Always a pleasure to see this guy. Doesn't necessarily make it to many, events or tournaments, but when you do see them, goddamn, such a pleasure to watch. Big start.
Yeah, I did fight them like 3-ish. It's been 3 months since Digi review. I did fight them like that right after Digi review when I tried to learn Sin. And definitely really strong player. Like that was scary.
This
did.
Drops the combo. Finds the low, no hit confirm, but the pressure is still on as long as the opponent doesn't interrupt.
Round start for Arc. We're definitely calling out options here, but Poke not getting hit. It's just the counter hit. No confirm though. Now in shock state, if you get another counter hit, that is going to be a lot of damage. Over in second reset. Now BRC overhead into the DP confirm. No, drops it. Oh.
Yeah, that's the temptation to press a button there between the butterflies. Oh, here comes the Stun Dipper RC, the quickest interruption possible, available from half screen away. Ooh, that's one punish that the Poke was looking for that previous round. Getting the timing this time. Good idea on the instant air dash. No punish.
Yeah. Maunuri keeps confirming that in the Forger Arc into 2P, which I think is just meant to be an unblock option. It's not meant to be on hit. That's why it keeps on fumbling. So Pokemania getting hit, actually working out in their favor, and the super might just kill. Yeah.
Damn. It's like it's one of the weaker supers in the game damage-wise, but I mean combined like considering what kit it's attached to, not too bad.
We're spinning through and we're spinning again, and this time when Maunuri says, I don't want to do this at all, please get away from me with your spins. Not in the mood for belly dancing, but we're in the mood for it regardless. Gonna get the DP out, and we're gonna reset with the pin, which I think is called, I always forget the names. Gets the close slash confirm, JK, further confirm.
What? What, Maunuri? But charge is fully from 5D that range? What's that? I don't believe my eyes. Some ancient forbidden tag that only highest levels of Kai players have access to. Poke tried to option select the throw with a PRC, but Maunuri's far slash still finds its mark. I guess maybe the only option was to go for a 6B there to low profile the far slash, but Poke tried to press a faster button.
This time flashes the Forger Arc successfully, so now we're gonna get the pressure and build that meter. Guilty Gear generally has been a game where on offense you build way more meter than on defense, which is, they try to tone down a bit in Strive. And you can see here Maunuri almost has 50 meter. Just from being on defense this almost entire round, but he has to use the meter on the FD, and Poke's just gonna build more than the DP bait. That might just be death with the risk. No reset!
Alright, I mean, I guess the player knows best. Poke, being the Anji master here, deems that is in fact not enough, and we have to go for the reset instead. Ends up working out. Round start, aggressive dash into 2K. Which side? Doesn't matter which side if we counter with 5B, which has been the anti-air of choice for Poke for the most part. It's definitely the safe option. If Kai, uses jump D and you miss a 5B, that's not too bad. But if you miss a 6B, that's usually bad.
Yeah, that's the advantage of like when you start out Guilty Gear, right? You're like, man, 6P is so strong. That's crazy. Why would you ever press anything else? But then you slowly start to realize, wait, this has recovery.
Yeah. It's way more nuanced than you initially think. And then you add like perhaps some other situational anti-airs to the mix if your character tends to have them, like I don't know, Kai too heavy. Right, electricity is on, but collides with the dancing frames. Yeah, it's a big start. It took a nice hard call out on the shin, which usually requires you to, I mean, you would have to be cracked out of your mind to react to that. But I think generally people like can at least heart rate it, jump with the opponent, and get a counter hit. No counter hits this time though.
It just lets the Fujin rock, and that is going to enable them to get a side switch combo into the full confirm. That will not kill. And if they go into super, that will definitely be a full burst gauge again for Maunuri, because the more hits your combo has, the more each hit restores burst. So if you have supers like have the Chaos, they give way more burst the more hits the combo has. And it does scale exponentially. So it does get, it's hyped spin.
Damn, interesting option there for Maunuri going into like an air DP. But of course the spin is gonna cover all of that. With the low, going to it again. Playing it very safe, not making themselves vulnerable to the DPs if one wants to come out. What's a corner carry from the... Oh. Ooh, okay.
I've heard of the DP, despite the parry, actually does have frames in between the 2 hits where he can punish him. So gotta be aware of that. Kind of center of the wall, regenerating that burst, which I think is is definitely what you want. But needs to use the tension to get that round. There is the stun dipper. Gonna confirm that, and we're gonna go into the next round. That's a completely even game. 4-4, 1 round each.
Basically same amount of burst resources as well here, but Poki getting seemingly mad starter here. Maybe too much bounce there. First world problems. Ooh, perfect timing there. Between the parry frames of the dance. Very situational looking hit there. Far slash anti-airing the food arc into a conversion. Doesn't quite break the wall. Ah, don't you try. Don't you even try. Every Kai player, I know what he wants to do. I know he wants to do that. Stun dipper RC. But eventually you gotta give. The gap is too large. Ooh, okay. Dragon install is active. This is actually pretty good. Because there's a shit ton of chip potential, extra chip potential for having the Dragon Install active. This is probably like one of the best activations of Dragon Install, like situational activations that I've ever seen. Opponent was very low health, you got the wall break with the Dragon Install, couldn't have killed with an RTL, so might as well do it like that.
Yeah, but Maunuri, once again with the DP, very DP happy, but you're going to have to like be DP happy. If you have that too, you got to show your opponent like, hey, man, you gotta respect that, and that is not what PokemaniacHD is doing. It just keeps hitting it, because to an extent, respect can only be given so much, and the 2P is gonna beat that out. The run-up throw not successful this time.
I mean, technically, it's like every single follow-up that Anji can do is gonna be countered by a DP. The only things that are safe is Hujin no cancel, which gets punished with a normal, and then airtight Nagiha, which is also quite punishable. So it's all about the RPS when Anjimito is on screen. And now, Poki does have the meter. RC, yeah, fast RC, so we get to keep a lot of that. God, still 100 meter ready to go. Take these mix-ups, Maunuri. And Maunuri staying stone cold to the other side. Get the knockdown. And now, not quite gonna be the kill. Gets the Dragon Install wall break again, though. Chip situation.
He's so fast. I forgot about this. Get me out as soon as Pokemon also says I want to be out. Get the running guy away from me. I forgot they did that. The movement speed buff.
Yeah, the classic that still saw. Wait, didn't? Yeah, so this is, I think, generally always had that extra movement speed from Dragon Install in older games.
Yeah, well, Kai didn't. And then they added in, we were like, oh, he's zooming across the screen.
Ooh, the air to air. Ooh, oh, okay. Got the punish there, just barely. And then the 5 heavy calls out the spin frames. Yeah, that's the big Kai damage that we're usually talking about. Ooh, but wait a minute, 5 heavy starter here. One of the bread makers. Full sequence, and now Maunuri has very decent amount of resources, basically everything that he could ever dream of to defend in this situation, and understandably Poki trying to wait it out, but that just allows Maunuri to push it, and from one hit confirm spends all of that money, all of that cash to get the win. That's basically the RPS. You worry about the resources too much on your opponent when you're attacking, it ends up biting you in the ass.
Yeah, but also you need to be a bit disrespectful. You can't always respect the resources, because sometimes they might just be greedy and get away with it, because I've seen, in my life, I've seen a lot of stun dipper no cancel, and I'm like, that guy got to keep 50 meter. Grr.
Right, once again, completely even situation. That has been basically the theme, the carrying theme of this set so far. Oh, he's choosing to spend the red white assault for this one. and builds up the extension just in time, getting a electrified wall break. Again into a jump cancel. Maunuri really likes that string with the jump D. Quite gonna be enough, but look at this life lead. Yeah, basically has to spend the meter to stay on the driver's seat, but then if you spend the meter to keep up the pressure, then where is the damage gonna come from if you actually manage to, you know, score the hit?
Yeah, tries to counteract the spin, but doesn't get it and depletes out the immediate burst from Poke. You're pretty happy to see that in that Wild Assault. From would be quite chunky. Yeah, gets corner to corner and a wall break, I imagine, and that is not little damage. That is 40% of Anji's life bar.
God, I love that route.
I have very little to work with.
Went a little too early there, huh? And now, let's see, close last starter. Maunuri still a little far away from the full burst. Plus frames, got the backdash. Yeah, that's gonna be a good night. Poke, of course, absolutely needs this to fight back. 2 more for Poke, 1 more for Maunuri. And now Poke still sitting with a comfortable buffer of 1 round lead here. The Butterfly kind of initially cucking that DP punish combo, but finding himself in a decent enough situation. Dancing forward with the Fujin. 50 meter, mix up, finds the low with the 2S. But it's not quite enough. Maunuri though, 50 tension, almost full burst. Let's see the decision here. Would Poke burst here with this life advantage? I can see a world where we save, and I can see a world where we use it offensively like this. And there we go. Yeah. I think even if Poke loses this round, that is like an acceptable outcome, because they are gonna get that full burst back at the latest, like at the end of the last round, if nothing else.
Yeah, and I think if you have the 100 meter and you have the round lead and that position, it's definitely worth going for the burst. But this time also gets to confirm, and that will be the burst generator for both players, one with the wall break and one with the positive bonus. I mean, he's already at low health again. Kai does so much damage. I always forget he is Soul's rival. It does make sense. He needs to keep up.
It's the eternal meme that like Kai doesn't do damage because, like, I don't know, he's not the biggest damage dealer, and Soul does this much, but goddamn, it's propaganda. Don't believe it. This guy shits it out. Ooh, from a far slash. Going into the loop, I guess because the opponent was airborne after all. It's a small whiff punish, no conversion. Ooh, but Poke picks up the combo. Now, very important sequence here. We have so much meter, and we need to even up the situation. Look at that risk. It's basically blinking, and it hits. There we go. There's the hit. No, wait, that doesn't pick up, even on the Kusodeka.
I'm pretty sure you have to do a faster button. I'm not sure if it has to be 5k, but that is definitely, they say Rekkas have no counters anymore. Fret not, Anji players. We still got those. I'm gonna set up again. Does have full burst on Maunuri and is gonna immediately use it. Does not want to be in the corner, but that also means no access to Wild Assault anymore, and Poke with the lead. They both burst in tension here.
Got the mix up, the overhead with the backdash BRC, and now Poke looking for potentially 1 hit. Maunuri gets a very important hit here. Both players completely loaded with resources. Maunuri finds the hit from the overhead, through the wall once again, and now the rest of this set is gonna be fought with Maunuri in Dragon Install.
Ooh. And the Stunted Burst gonna confirm, but I don't know if this Kino tries to go for the Dragon Install combos, and that should confirm. No, it does not.
Oh my god.
Marcy in the air.
Oh, the bait! The bait at the very last moment! There was so much! But Poke with that clean read there. Jump cancel out of that close slash. I mean, Maunuri kinda had to hit the trigger there, because probably the next or the hit after that would have finished. And Poke, absolutely aware of the situation, takes the bait, and at the very end, guy, it was basically dead even the whole set. Even at the last second, it was still even. 1 RPS interaction away. Who takes it? God damn.
That was really close. And that is Lunacy. Lunacy did go to my local. I did see them just yesterday, in person. So good luck to them. I'm gonna have to go out because I have to host Untitled Unmatched.
Yeah, thank you very much for not just playing, but for the commentating help. It's a rare treat to get to commentate with you. I can't even remember if we've commentated anything together so far.
I don't think we have. But it's very fun. I give you the compliment usually. I think you like one of the best people to commentate like these free skill level matches because you get excited for everybody. Like literally everybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to listen to, especially as me, like a lower energy person. It's like your energy is definitely much needed.
I do love them fighting games for sure.
All right. Good luck with the rest of the event. See you around.
Bye-bye. Alright, just you and me from here on out, chat. The next one, Lunacy, Knee, another Germany versus UK match. How many have we had so far? So we had Dex match, and we had McNuggleton versus Ponytail match, and this will be the third and the final Germany versus UK bout. What's the score at the moment? So Deck took that match. And then McNuggleton took that match, so it's technically 2-0 for Germany so far. Let's see if Nee is able to change that situation so that Team Germany doesn't get the full sweep tonight.
Duel 1.
Baiken Anji, the lore Japanese matchup here. The two characters who, well, historically, Guilty Gear design-wise, Anji was always the defend while attacking kind of character, and Baiken was attack while defending kind of character. Oh boy, if you didn't play Guilty Gear in the XX days, shit was kind of wild, not gonna lie. Anyway, modern Guilty Gear. Ooh. The punish on the throw into low. I like that. I've never quite seen the corner pressure, or rather the mix-up game from throw being played like this by Anji. That's kind of like what I do on Sim. Ooh, nice spacing there with punish. The Kabari heavy. Another one counter hit straight into the blue wild assault, and we get the full conversion. And get this, Lunacy has the 50 meters still ready to go, and that means we have access to the unseeable high-low. Wall breaks a little too soon, so Nee is gonna have a chance here with that big damage. But look at this, so much meter for Baiken. At least they made it so that the parry PRC is no longer a thing. This kills though. Yeah, Tenchi Jin. Could have even RC'd at the end there. So whereas in the old patch, I think Lunacy would have like always went for parry PRC there for, you know, just a 50-meter reversal. Has to in the current meta, or rather current iteration of the game, instead, if you want a safe way out of there, super PRC. Ooh, good check there. Not letting Lunacy get back into the striking distance, and now set it up with a butterfly, making sure that there's no parry in between. However, the parry comes out in that gap. Every single time there is a gap, there is a way to make it, you know, an interruption for Baiken. Same rules as DP characters, but played in a slightly different kind of, like, the same feature in a slightly different kind of functionality. I guess like the biggest difference is that the reversal parries also call out safe jumps, which technically DPs will always lose to. Right, clean sequence through the wall. That is gonna put Nee to the 50 tension range and 50 burst as well for deflect shield. Ooh, made a little bit of an oopsie there, had to fix it. Trade definitely in Nee's favor, and again this dancing of the throw mix-up. Oh, which side? But Nee still on top of that RPS. Who's gonna get the advantage? No, not sure, but both players spending meter per meter. That throw didn't reach. That was the right call out, but the throw was a little too far away. Plus frames from the shin. We have the 50 meter as well. Oh, this is gonna convert. And no way for Lunacy out of this one, because we're still quite far away from the burst. Ooh, going under, but the limited range of the Anji buttons, always the biggest curse of this character. Wow, just mashed 2S right! I wonder if Lunacy messed up the timing there, or was perhaps worried about a reversal parry? I'm not quite familiar with that post-throw situation when you have the tether on. With the fake safe jump. Makes sense, because we are fighting Baiken here, and the reversal parry is an option. Heartmate on the burst. Ooh, but it will actually have to be Knee who bursts! Although, now... Yeah, Knee's still gonna get it. It's kind of the same conundrum as in the very last, or like one of the last games between Maunuri and Poki a while ago. Might as well go for that aggressive burst there, because you have such a massive lead, and you still have resources to play afterwards. So the situation is still, like, very heavily in your favor. Right, 2D into... Oh, threading the needle. In both players' cases, reversal parry is not, or rather, the reversal parry does clear out the S-Kabari situation from that range at least. Massive reach of that jump heavy. Oh, that's gonna catch the backdash. Not quite enough to like close enough to combo afterwards, but you know, when you get the closer you get to finishing the round, the more likely, the more you want to be dishing out all of those resources to try to force your turn. Because like, oopsies happen and you take a lot of stray hits in fighting games. Especially in an aggressive oriented fighting game such as Guilty Gear. To the other side. Comeback opportunity, attach the Kabari, and now we mix. Backdash, just in case that there was a reversal. It's kind of cool that with the Kabari, S-Kabari attached, you kind of get a bounce back after baiting out their reversal parry. Because like the tether is gonna bring you back in a jumping situation. Right, get the plus frames. Ooh, the 5K from Anji. The wrong direction. That was the... Generally, if your opponent ends up in front of you after that call, it's gonna be a plus frame situation from Anji. But because it plummeted Lunacy to the wrong direction, ended up actually being rather even-ish and going back to neutral. Alright, 2 straight wins for Knee after Lunacy did start the set up with 1-0. Taking a small little artificial breather here, which is very advisable, especially if you are on the losing side of things. Recall the RPS, recall what happened, what can I do better? Drink water, breathe deep. Actually, it's one of the like more sort of one of the not enough talked about subjects is, you know, breathing techniques during, you know, esports events like this, especially fighting games. Something you can find a lot of value in, something I see at least some top-level players going for once in a while in a tight competitive sets like these. Too heavy finds its mark into reversal parry, available for both these characters. Baiken, of course, available to do that meterless, whereas Anji always needs the 50. Of course, what comes with the tension cost is the, I guess, that massive active frames and then the really fast recovery afterwards. So you kind of trade the cost of the reversal for sort of safety and consistency. Ooh, that's the jump slash. Always get at least a hard knockdown with the new move Mirare. Nice, the deep dash, sees the bad dash coming. Or sorry, sees the back dash coming, or perhaps guesses the back dash coming. And we're fully loaded here. First, it's gonna be the YRC, finds the hit, no kill though. Like shield pushes. Lunacy back to the full screen. Oh, what a clean air throw. Not quite a deal done yet. Empty jump into a throw. I mean, that's a very common sequence to see from both these characters if, you know, if Anji did have the meter to reversal with, but... goes for it again, but a little too early, I reckon. The butterfly initially catches the bounce back of the Escabari. Oh, physics! Oh, physics! Physics still! Oh, physics! And then, still, at the end, we're still going into the Kacho Hugetsu. Now, Lunacy collides with the core. Oh, still gets out of there, though. That was interesting. Wait, was it the butterfly, the second hit of the butterfly that plummeted Lunacy to the other direction after the core? It was a really weird-looking situation. Oh, the Kabari actually pulls knee with super speed back to the opponent after that spin. Interesting. God, I love physics.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
And this character Baiken definitely has a has a lot of physics attached to the character in you know, more than one way. Anyway, strikes into the spin. Every throw, every Midare, able to get the same mix-up again. This time being very careful. Nice 6P there. We'll be able to build the 50 meter, and then immediately as its presence go into the super, and that should be a kill, yeah. The guaranteed amount of damage, even though that super itself doesn't do that much, still the wall break, sealing the deal at the end there, delivering like, how much is it like around 50 guaranteed damage at least? Ooh, speaking of damage, here comes a big one. Gets the full sequence. Oh, I bet that's a special sequence because you have the Escabari attached there. Nice, goes for the guaranteed punch with an air throw. Some characters, I think, characters who don't have very high reaching close slashes will want to usually go for the air throw on the missed call. Not close enough to get a punish this time around though. Falls straight back into a very clean jump slash. Plus frames. Set it up again. Jumped into the butterfly, so that's gonna be lots of plus frames. Took the core. That would have probably been a kill here. Wait, did I see a reversal parry from me? Nevertheless, oh, that's gonna certainly keep the. Wait, hello? All of these misses. Was it? Maybe was expecting the Kabari to pull Baiken back, but then it kind of like got dislodged during the combo, so funky things. Again, a little too early on the throw, and the back throw from Lunacy. Coming down with the sword, deflect shield. Oh, but I love that! On a reaction, goes for the tatami mat. Just in case that the opponent won't be able to ram themselves into you anymore. But still not enough for Lunacy. Knee has found some really good momentum here since the starter. This is like four games of winning streak here for Knee. Looking to do the Team UK route here. Break the cycle of losses and at least prove ourselves in the last Germany versus UK matchup of the evening. Now, we don't exactly need those physics of the tether there. Two, yeah, Lunacy doesn't quite have the 50 meter to make the instant overhead RPS possible necessarily. Tries to parry there. Bani with the perfect strategical amount of delay on your strikes. These two characters, very similar in that kind of way, able to force RPS in places where many other characters can't. And the RPS is basically timing based. Are you striking now? Are you striking a couple of frames afterwards? Those changes, or like those differences make a big, or like those variations make a massive difference. I didn't get the super out. That could have potentially been a kill. Now Knee. I was still gonna get the fight for the round. Very low health here. Chip danger. Yeah, has to hold the FD. But then transitions into the 2P at the very most opportune moment. Still, a life lead, a massive life lead is a massive life lead. So, you know, no matter how much damage you can deal on your character, it's gonna be tough. Especially sort of like the mental aspect of being so down in life. We were already talking about the like mental aspect of being down in games. Cool combo, by the way, enabled by the new change where you throw a person who has the Kabari on already. Ooh, it's gonna be plus frames. Tried to go for a YRC, I imagine, turned into a BRC, which, you know, is even better in that kind of situation where the opponent was baiting you. Disengages into Escabare, one of the farthest. Oh, no punish! No throw! No strike, no nothing! Knee gets out of the woods somehow. Oh, the combo drop again. Lunacy, hold it still. Finish your plate. Is Knee gonna actually steal it? Bluffs into the butterfly. Go first. It takes a little while before Lunacy gets to utilize the resources coming in. Oh, but this time it's actually Knee who fumbles on the confirm. But even still, able to get the OTG, able to get the meaty situation afterwards, despite dropping the combo. God, that was a heartbreaker. I think Lunacy did have that game there at one point or another. Oh, interesting combo choice there. Was that enabled by the tether? From conversion, still coming out, like coming with a jumping kind of ish timing. Into full sequence, and then the ball break. Yes, indeed. Now again, we are fighting against Baiken, and we not only have the reversal parry, but also the reversal super option here, and the YRC. It's like, of course, like generally you rotate your options so that you probably will go for the option that they're expecting the least. And because, you know, Baiken's, you know, you're of course always gonna be on layer 1 thinking about Baiken wanting to do the parry. Then you instead do a different option. That's kind of like, that's the heart of the RPS when it comes to fighting games. I love that because the tether is attached. It's gonna pull Baiken back in after the deflect shield pushback. Jump out of there. There we go. Lunacy. She has not lost the fighting spirit yet. But we have a lot of work to be done to be able to come back from this deficit in this FT7 situation. Oh, wait a second, the butterfly might have actually worked in Lunacy's favor here, knocking her down from the jump out earlier than expected and getting a punish. Momentum burst, trying to keep Knee in the corner. However, the instant air dash angle's not quite aligning in Lunacy's favor. YRC? No! Trying to go for I guess a slightly slower than 10 frame option here. Like there's actually a lot of RPS there out of that YRC hit situation. So as we always say, it is plus 10 on hit, the YRC, but then you have an option. Are you gonna go for an airtight low perhaps to force them into blocking, kind of check if they're trying to churn something? Or are you gonna maybe try to call out backdashes, throw mashes, and other kind of junk by going into a very delayed option? Alright, the Gachol who gets you is gonna call out the safe jump, quotations. Lunacy has so much meter. Are we gonna get to use it? No, is the answer. And Knee finds himself in the first set point position of this set. Lunacy with the full stick of butter in the form of burst here. Once again, not able to find the interruption there. It's the fear of the massive rewards out of the spin. The crux of basically all Unji matchups. Ooh, went for the right option, but was a little late there to get the hard throw punish. Here we go with the empty low once again. Doesn't have the meter this time, so can't take the kill just yet, but one hit with the positive bonus especially would be the deal, not deal breaker, the deal sealer, I guess, for Knee. Soft knockdown, this is dangerous. This is a soft knockdown against 100 meter. Unji smartly goes into, oh my god, that's a lot of options, and that's a carry too heavy. One of the heaviest starters of Unji Mito, and that's gonna be what seals the deals here for Knee. So Knee is gonna take it for Team UK at the end, and not allowing UK to go home, not you know, I guess not disgraced. I mean, it's all fun and games here on the internet, but you know, we love making it competitive. Okay. Whew. Damn, is it just me, or are these sets kind of entertaining tonight? Because my voice is starting to reach a breaking point. So this usually this technically set number 5, but since we played the set number 6 already, this will be our second to last match of the evening. Wilku versus Horizon. If I recall correctly, this was actually one of the matches of the week that was pre-planned. So we had of course the Marisa versus Deknud random match predetermined or requested by the players. Then we also had McNuggleton versus Ponytail, which was pre-requested, and this will be the third one. Wilku versus Horizon, requesting to play this match beforehand. Let me inform the players just quick that it is indeed go time. And our ID is as follows. Alrighty. Alright, so Kai versus Milia. I feel like Kai is a fairly decent kind of character to play against Milia. If you're kind of like a infighter only, it can get very frustrating sometimes against these super fast characters such as like Milia or Chip. That can play very, you know, bob and weave, sort of weave in and out, run back or run away, but then actually initiate instead, kind of game plan. For like against Kai, you can never zone Kai out, right? Because Kai always has an option to, you know, unleash fireballs if you're trying to zone him out. If you're on the other side of the screen, if you're flying around, Kai has like super good anti-airs as well. There's really no weak points for Kai per se, which is probably the kind of archetype of character that you're looking to play against speedsters usually. I guess like there's like two types of weaknesses that I usually perceive for speedster characters. It's the characters that kill you with one hit, which is really annoying to play against, but then the all-rounders as well are usually like super hard to bamboozle. Alright, Horizon from Sweden in the left corner. And in the right corner, we have Wilku. Wilku hasn't had too many matches on Bounty Hunters so far, right? Only 2. And I think Wilku did clear both of those matches successfully as well, coming out victorious. Still with an undefeated score on Bounty Hunters. Let's see if Horizon will be able to break that massive momentum. Of course, Horizon has been fairly active on Bounty Hunters. I think we had a relatively long loss streak for Horizon, but then eventually was able to crawl out of that pit and play 2 winning matchups back to back. So technically, now that I think about it, both of these players have a 2-game winning streak supporting them. Now, who is gonna break whose win streak going into this one? Nice, checking there. I think for Kai has the same kind of problem as Sin does with his like just normal air jump buttons, where he's not necessarily gonna generate as much frame advantage. Oh, that's clean. You know, anti-air gaming, especially like air-to-air gaming choices are gonna be super important in the Milia matchup because, you know, just like Mei, you're never gonna see Milia not jump around, right? And immediately going, oh, that's an interesting option. Might have been a misinput there on the jump D or an air throw. I think what you usually see if you go airborne and do deflect shield. Now, even after that blunder, Wilku still has quite a lot of life to spend, but we could argue that if you get the blender going, it doesn't really matter how much life you have. It's only the RPS, the guesses that you make. Full combo, nice, and wall break, not quite enough, literally 1 hit point left. And now Wilku, yeah, Kisk boys will know. Of course you do ride the lightning, of course you do. Because like, what are they gonna do? If they jump, you just RC and put them in a disadvantageous situation. If they block, again, you just RC and you're once again on the driver's seat. There's like nothing you can do to run away from an advancing special move, or sorry, advancing super. It's just kind of like, yeah, I saved up to my 100 meter and now you have to deal with it. And from that point on, very aggressive, very decisive round for Wilku. This is kind of like how it can turn out very easily if Milia gets pinned down in the corner. The sort of fate of the speedster characters. Just like Kai. Oh, hello! Both players spending their burst here. Starter with the heavy DP. That's gonna go into a very decent combo. I think that combo could have still gone on. But I mean, Wilku did get the most out of that combo damage. Going into the air DP once again to counter the opponent's option. Oh, but went in with the Mirage, going under the super fireball, and now that 50 meter vanishes into the void, never to be seen again, and Wilku will have to try to work again to get that tension. Here's the tension, going into the conversion, guaranteeing the kill here. All right. You know, we don't often cry over the spilled milk. If you throw the 50 meter in the trash, I mean, what is done and done. Things happen in fighting games. Move on and build another 50. Ooh, the air-to-air timing once again. I think Wilku went airborne immediately, perhaps looking for a... looking for a certain kind of angle here, and oh, I think this goes through, right? It's fast enough. No, I think it's the distance. The startup would be good enough, but the heavy fireball, okay, was spaced so far that Winger actually couldn't reach there. And air to air. Oh, this combos? Question mark? Yes, it does. And now, oh, bluffs into the heavy fireball again. This is all of Horizon's life, or rather, meter going down the drain, just trying to avoids the chip damage going in. No meter whatsoever. Look at that. Yeah, there was no meter. I think you saw Horizon flicker the FD there, but because she built the meter from dashing forward, like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 meter. All of it was gone in the blink of an eye there before the fireball even got there. Yeah, that's 1-1, starting out very standard. Ooh, 5k, was that an attempt at inputting Mirage, I think, to go under? Close slash, yeah. Milia is one of the lucky characters that have a really good anti-air close slash. Look at that. Even though Milia has some of the lowest throw range in the game, with her speed, it almost does not end up mattering because she can cover the distance much faster than other characters. So technically, she has to be closer to you than other characters, but she gets there way faster than a standard character would. Chose to already queue up the back, the double air dash back. Could have potentially found a punish there against that fireball. And now let's see Wilku's offense. Good use of FD there. Always important to flash that FD on, you know, especially characters that love to use a lot of buttons, a lot of normals on you during their pressure. And like both the Kisk boys are basically that. Like they would just like to loop plus frame pressure on you forever. And it is gonna go on forever unless you know, flash that FD, push them away. Here's the meaty setup. That should be a kill, right? Yes, indeed. So Horizon takes up the commanding position here early into this set. But this has kind of been the theme with a lot of our games tonight, as per usual. Back-to-back gaming all the way through. Let's see the response here from Wilku. I've tried to find the gold burst timing, but you know, we'll take the blue burst timing as well. Trade in Wilku's favor as long as the opponent is back against the corner. That's a big counter hit, and Horizon knows it. Especially since, you know, that's technically a corner position for Kai. And that special counter hit would have almost killed Horizon there, I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of, lots of damage coming through. Choosing to break it with a special move that electrifies, but does not get the heart knockdown. Yeah, a little too far to get any sort of relevant plus frames from the Septum voices. Jump scare, hair car. Very hard to deal with. Here comes my hair car. I got a pretty good hair car as well. I got a Cadillac. What do you have? A Porsche? Mazda? Yeah, close slash, finding the anti-air once again as Wilku tries to escape the corner. Both players being very patiently there, waiting each other out. Neither willing to hit the button until absolutely necessary. There we go, yeah. Usually when you see players respecting a lot, they are looking for some type of reaction, such as goes for a hard bait, no burst for Horizon here. YRC is the option instead that we're gonna go in first. Counter YRC, but unfortunately Horizon was in the air, so not able to milk out that plus 10 that you would usually like to have. Try to whiff punish. The high hair car is a little too slow to start up to get a clean one. Close slash again. Not an airborne opponent though. I guess usually you would like to connect the close slash just like that! Just like that! When the opponent is in the sky! It's kind of like a sort of like a blessing for your pressure, because like Milia is not really known for her like endless pressure and whatnot. She's very like go in and go out kind of girl, and because you eventually kind of have to disengage, you can find a lot of value for just checking them out. If they are willing to jump and try to air dash, then you can just be alright, free close slash time, and here we go. Right, good blocks on Wilku, putting Horizon into the corner. Has to RC this, drift forward, finds the hit, finds the... Okay, Deflect Shield does take care of the overhead. Oh, that's a big one. Super, kills. Wait, is RTL... I think RTL is a little bit more damage, so RTL would have finished there. Although, in the end, in the grand scheme of things, ain't gonna matter that much. I say that, but I think it actually does matter that much. Like, whenever you can kill in Guilty Gear Strive, you wanna kill, right? Especially on the wall break situation. Like letting the opponent go back to the neutral, especially after a combo of yours, because like it's pretty reasonable to assume that after their combo, they're gonna have more resources than you, because you probably spent some of your combos for making your combo sequence happen in the first place. Switch sides. I think Wilku tried to go for that burst bait there, but maybe not committing into it long enough. And now, as a result, Horizon getting a positive bonus. Lots of meter already. The gold burst completely whiffing. Oh no, this is a hopeless situation, is it not? Unless the Septum voice cancel was not tight enough. Wilku able to jump out of that. We still have 50. Haircar RC is a thing. Or we could just dash forward with that massively fast bar slash. 9 framers, the fastest type bar slash available in the game. Making ground-based footsies potential proposition for Milia as well. Punishing with the hair car, missing the pickup. I think there is a pickup on counter hit, right? Set it up, a little loose kind of setup. Ends up very close to the opponent, Artemis. But remember, bob and weave. Initiate and then... What's the opposite of initiate? Disengage? Yeah, initiate and disengage. I like the idea, but was a little too far to go under the flip kick with the command dash mirage there from Milia. Now, again, very even kind of situation. Sees the target in the air. 6B works out, get the heart knocked down. Yeah, cash out from the wall with the maximum amount of damage. Fully charged 5D. Oh, but the hair guard is not low profile enough to go under S fireballs from Kai. Into the mix-up we go. Throw is, I believe, one of the options that gets you, or wait, 2D is what gets you the meaty disc always, and throw doesn't get you meaty disc, right? RC, in order to perhaps bait the burst, there we go, we get it on the second wave. I mean, the closer they draw to their death, the more, you know, it's like, the more sure you can be that the burst is coming eventually. So even though Horizon did sacrifice the 50 meter on the hard bait first time around, because she was able to get the hit afterwards, the second burst bait, way easier to predict. I mean, you could argue as the opponent there, when you saw the initial burst bait as well, it's like, all right, they're gonna hard bait again, right? But it's often not as easy, because like, even hard dropped combos can lead into hard knockdowns, and then the opponent is just gonna run at you and like meaty you again. So your position hasn't improved per se. Speaking of flimsy positions here, goes for the hard bait, or rather, I want to say that's not even a hard bait for Milia, because Milia can transition from that close slash jump cancel into like a very annoying to defend kind of situation due to her unique movement and the button that is jump heavy. Hitting both sides and hitting very efficiently as well. Oh, that was kind of cool. We have... all right, nope, not burning the RC here. Is the hair car... Is the tip range hair car just not able to be RC'd maybe? All right, with punish on the standing P. By dashing in and getting a throw, anime style. One of the Kisk specials, or perhaps a Kai special. The double air dash while the opponent is still in the block stun. This is a great YRC, putting the opponent in the corner, blocks the heavy fireball, maximum value. YRC, please. No, meter for meter, resource for resource. Wilku keeps the opponent stuck in the corner. The air-to-air, even though it doesn't land as hit, will produce much needed plus frames. And here's the comeback attempt. Blue RC puts them in the corner. Here we go. Mix is front. And then no anti-air attempt there for Horizon. But instead chooses to tag the landing frames. Backs out of the disc. Oh no! Not only backs out of the disc, I think it... Wait. How does that situation go? Was it just that... So Wilku didn't take any hits from the disc. So he wasn't put in block stun. So he didn't get any additional throw info frames, right? It was just that Horizon didn't dash close enough. So that's like the curse of Milia having like the lowest throw range in the game. Just has to get so close to be able to throw the opponent. Uh-oh, that's lights out, yeah. Even if Horizon had a little extra hit points there, yeah, it wouldn't make any difference, because that's like a 60%, 80% kind of combo. And now Wilku probably on the hunt for another one of those. Any good counter hit is gonna kill. That's not quite it. I think the hit confirm was really close there. Trying to hit confirm into the heavy DP. Jump out of disc, yes, for it is not needy. Good knowledge by Wilku. Being on the lookout for those jump out attempts. However, Horizon, good mix between the air escapes and the ground game. That's Milia 101. You can't, like, even though your air options are so dominant and so strong, this kills, by the way. Even if your air options are so strong, you can't go and you can't rely on those all the time. You have to rotate your options, because otherwise your trajectories, your angles will get predictable, and then you're that much easier to air crab, or God forbid, like air-to-air jump slash into a big counter hit combo. Right, pushing their frame situation, get the electricity here. Horizon doesn't quite want to give away this position just yet. Into the throw, that was perfect timing. To the other side, hard bait. Wilku not quite ready to burst just yet. DPS works out. Ooh, that's a lot of plus frames. We caught them in the air with the flip kick. Nice, that's so cute. It's been, I want to say, the go-to response for fireballs by Horizon, going with that Mirage, that command dash, which is quite low profiling. Of course, it does prove slightly risky if the depending on where the opponent is compared to you. So like if I guess it's only for heavy heavy fireball, right? If the opponent would send a slow fireball in your direction and then follow it up, then of course you're... Ooh, but hold that thought, we got a conversion here! Dropping it just before the wall stick. I think that was the most optimal play. I'm not sure if there was a wall stick to be had there exactly. I'm not the professor of Kai routes, but I think dropping the combo there is not only acceptable, but some cases even preferable. Because like Milia is annoying to deal with at neutral, so you would much rather pressure them with a meaty in the corner than take a wall break and go back to neutral. From the 2P into the dash throw, mix up once again. Turbo fall behind, a little too far to get a punish here, even with Milia's fast movement speed. That's a big starter, knows it. Use the burst. Intercept the trajectory. This will be minus, but I think not punishable, right? Ooh! And that means we got some RPS here. I think Wilku got Horizon in the infinite, but unfortunately the wall damage will interrupt it. Yes, you heard it right there. It's an infinite for Kai. If you are in Dragon Install, you don't tend to see it very often because it's obviously really hard to get into that position, but technically you can get a... I forgot how the infinite goes. It's like... It's flip kick into something, right? ODI is plus on block? Alright, consider me educated. Too heavy, yeah. It is a very simple infinite as well. But like I said, you would have to be really low health and then have the 50 meter to engage or like use the Dragon Install, and then you would need to get that hit in still. Alright, go burst works out. The 6P is gonna get called out by the disc for Horizon did not overextend. Ooh, to the other side, however, miss a close slash, go for another one. Fish for a big prize. And Wilku is starting to slowly pick up some really serious steam here. They went 3-3, nice with punish there. Walk back button, my beloved. Available for almost all characters in Guilty Gear Strive. Combo into the heavy DP, looks so good. Looking forward to seeing more of those in a couple more days. Horizon will unfortunately have to unleash it. It's like the combo is very fresh. So like a heavy button there for Kai on the next hit would almost be a kill already. It's that super awkward situation when you're 1 to 2 buttons away from dying. Was that 7 already? That could be it, because I thought the couple of initial games were like took surprisingly long time. Yeah, that must have been 7 for Wilku. So at one point I did miscount, apparently. Not very, not very rare for a for a QK set, is it? But either way, got there in the end, 3-7. Good hustle. Went very even at the start of the set, but then Wilku finding that something trademark. And now we do have one more game left, right? We already played this one, right? Yeah. First off, let me make sure that both the players are ready to go, because Ember Falls did have some scheduling requests, being that this matchup is as delayed as possible. And we are technically I guess we're technically right on schedule. But I will generally tell the last pair that the match that they play will start at around like 9 p.m. or rather 8 p.m. CET if you're on that Central European time and not the Finnish time, of course. If not, we are professional yappers here, so there is definitely stuff to yap about, especially since we are living such interesting times here on the Guilty Gear Strive timeline. Only, wait, how many days? 1, 2, 3, wait, 4? 4 days? 4 days! 4 days until the new patch, Season 4, and I can guarantee, no matter what your vision is currently for Guilty Gear Strive, I can guarantee it's gonna be Guilty Gear Strive. Like, if you want the game to change, nuh-uh, the game ain't gonna change. You know, Guilty Gear Strive will always be Guilty Gear Strive. GGST will be a sick, nasty game. And based on the trailer that we saw a couple of days ago, it's gonna get even nastier. The power level of the game moving on to Season 4 is no doubt gonna go up. Some players are begging Arxis, please, please, some breaks, some, you know, slow down. But that just ain't the spirit of Guilty Gear Strive, let me tell you that much. And I did hear some rumors that perhaps you guys have some, you know, fresher info from the French event that was going on in the background before. I think they had the game directors there present as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I kind of had to stop watching that broadcast to start Bounty Hunters, so I might be in the sort of blind, or sort of in the dark compared to some of y'all if you watched that event, and if there was some extra new information revealed. I did hear from mouth-to-mouth rumors, through rumors, that there might be, like, the patch note list might be dropping next Tuesday. Perhaps, maybe. And the amount of stuff in those patch notes, yeah, there's gonna be a lot. Apparently there's gonna be a shit ton of stuff, which, you know, a lot of us already knew. That's how it's gonna be. They only showed the media sexy things in the trailers, right? Because that's how you market your game. Marketing 101. You don't show nerfs in your season change trailer. That's a media suicide. No matter how much you wanted the nerfs, that's not gonna be shown there. The nerfs are gonna be in the patch notes coming forward. And yeah, I think the game is gonna be very different. And that's probably for the best. We've been on this patch for a very long time. In fact, it's like the game has been very similar ever since the, you know, season 2, season 3 switch. Of course, I think the season moving into season 3 was probably one of the greatest changes, like biggest changes for how Guilty Gear Strive shaped to be, as they added the Deflect Shield and Wild Assault. Very beloved mechanics, especially Wild Assault. Very utilized mechanic by many a character through many different ways. And we've been through some iterations, especially the Wild Assault. I think the red one hasn't changed that much. It's still, you know, it's still extremely good, because more pressure in an aggressively oriented fighting game is a pretty good combination. And then of course the blue Wild Assault ain't bad either, considering what it offers to the characters it is attached to. Alright, we got Ember Falls in the lobby. The name of the game is gonna be Giovanna versus Abba. Two very explosive characters, but slightly in different ways. So Abba starts out very, very weak-ish, or, you know, I don't want to call Abba's normal mode weak by any means. It's that it's limited by its mobility. That's what it is. If you get point blank as Abba's normal mode, the pressure is still kind of good. Especially if you can do Kara key grabs, which I guess I wouldn't expect Ember Falls to necessarily have down, because like Kara special moves are kind of hard to input, right? Kara supers are really easy, technically through the merit of basically how they're input. But Kara special moves, what you Kara is usually a dash cancel, which makes them way harder on your fingers. And I think to successfully play Abba, you need a lot of Kara special moves. Like during your combos, you got the Kara tilts, you got the Kara danzais for all of your optimals. Then during your normal pressure, or normal mode pressure, you got the Kara key grabs, which guarantee that your key grab actually connects on block and is plus. Yeah, it's... I guess what I wanted to say is that normal mode is strong as long as you are close to your opponent. While you're far away from your opponent, it doesn't generally feel good. But also, this time around, Ember is not playing against the keep away character, which is usually the toughest kind of archetype that Abba struggles against. We are playing an absolute infighter. And like what Giovanna is good at is whiff punishing. But like how often are you gonna actually swing buttons as normal mode Abba? Probably not like very often. Generally you're gonna be dash blocking forward for you know, majority of your normal mode career. Opening the close slash. Into, back and forth, trying to shimmy. But Ember Falls not ready to press. Quick deactivation. We are kind of outside of the activation limit, so the best option for Ember Falls would be to get either... I mean, that works! You got the one hit of the Rekka sequence there. So if we compare the Rekka to Key Grab, they produce the exact same amount of Jelly Meter, which is like around 25, so 2.5 seconds. And they're kind of interchangeable in a lot of... Huh? Was that wasn't the cross-up, was it? Please no. Crushing the guard, leading into really tough to block strike throw situations, but now we are activated. Let's see the routing here. Trying to go for the F-Shiki. Missed it initially, however, deactivate. This is the key grab. That's so important on Abba. Abba combos are super, super important. BNN grabs the first game. I would say, you know, other than the special Kara cancels that we were talking about, I think the biggest difficulty of playing Abba comes from, you know, I mean, there's the patience aspect as well when you are in normal mode, but the actual difficult part is that, like, the conversions and routing, because you gotta route into optimal stuff so that you get refund on your jealousy rage, and that you preferably stay in jealousy as much as possible. There we go, close slash, Rekka. Choosing not to activate here. There is a little bit of like decision making going into like when to activate. Of course, like the higher amount of jelly you have, the longer you can stay in your mode, because you always start with half of your jelly gauge, which is exactly 5 seconds of jealous rage. And if you think about it, 5 seconds is like, it is and it isn't very long time, right? There we go, using the RC, get the couple of Rekkas in as block, building a lot of that ever so required jelly gauge. But generally, I think against especially Giovanna, who is so good at whiff punishing, you're probably not gonna get too many raw activations off, right? Because Giovanna is probably gonna be coming at you at turbo speed, or at least maintaining a distance where she can react to you activating, and if not getting a punish, at least putting you in block stun. And at that point, all like red Wild Assault users can keep using their resources and just force you stay in that mode, force you stay blocking for like 5 seconds until you pop. Tried to deactivate there, but like I said, BNN working himself in that distance where there is no free activations or deactivations. However, now Rekka able to get the conversion. Here we go with the tilt. In Jealous Rage mode, tilt always an unreactable overhead. Whereas in normal mode, it's more like a pressure reset slash... I don't want to call it a neutral skip. It kind of is a neutral skip. It's kind of like... It is a, you know... It is a footsie option, let's put it like that. Now half of your Jelly Gauge still ready to go. Good use of FD pushing. Ember falls away from the active range of tilt. Missing the cross. Oh, counter hit, so we can break with... Yeah, it doesn't really matter if we break with the Greek Crab or the Rekka sequence. Of course, like, if you can only get one Rekka, it's only half the potential. So in those situations, you would probably prefer to break with a Key Grab instead. Overhead, and we got the conversion. Now this is a very painful looking burst here. Usually, like, the go-to option is, I want to say you don't want to burst damage in this matchup because like Abba is gonna kill you anyway. What matters in this matchup is the state of Moroha. And you want Abba to have no Moroha as often as possible. Like, you want to try to save your resources, your defensive resources, so that you force Abba to pop, force her to go into that zero jelly as often as possible. So if you only burst, like, let's say Abba gets a really fat hit on you in Jealous Rage, and you are like, shit, that combo is gonna hurt a lot. You burst immediately, and then Abba still has half of the jelly left. Then you're in a shit position, honestly. That's the kind of like decision making that is, in my opinion, really important to think about when you're playing against like a character like Abba or even Nago. Nago has kind of like the same sort of RPS around him and the blood gauge. I think able to keep the opponent in the block string using the spiral arrow and the plus frames. Now we got the pop. But it wasn't close enough. BNN. So usually, like, it is only 10 frames of the pop animations that you have there after the pop. And if you're not already close to your opponent, then you're probably not gonna have enough time to dash in and get your close slash anymore, right? Nice with the BNB combo, choosing to break with a... Oh, I see, because BNN didn't have the meter there. Was only able to get enough from the ending special. Now this reversal super is gonna take Ember Falls into... That was great dancing around. So the go-to play against Danzai, you can't challenge it. You wanna try to make Abba whiff it. And every time a Danzai is whiffed, you can bet your ass that a character like Giovanna, who moves around fast, will get a very easy punish there. You can kind of achieve that by just backpedaling and, trying to bait the Abba doing Danzai, or then using FD as well. That can work in certain distances. Alright, the hard knockdown from Danzai. I think that's also another change that will happen in the coming days, is we saw in the trailer that at least counter hit Danzai on grounded opponent now actually gets you a combo. Because sometimes, like, even if you get hit by Danzai during Jealous Rage, it's not the worst deal, because it's only gonna do some damage and it's gonna drain away so much of the jelly from Abba. And again, as I've been trying to allude to during this whole cast, is jealousy is everything for Abba. If she doesn't have it, then she's kind of fucked most of the time. Good 6B and ready to queue up the red Wild Assault as well. Not too much damage, but wall break, positive bonus. And because the opponent is very, very clumsy, you have an opportunity to build all of those resources. Keeper of the Key. This is normal mode though, so you can skip in there. It's usually the Keeper of the Key super that is really dangerous when the ABBA is in Jealous Rage mode, because that basically guarantees that you can dash all across the screen and get an airtight mix-up in. Now BNN has a massive life lead here. Ooh, the FRC was that missed? It kind of looked like the FRC jump K missed on a crouching Geo? Question mark? Is that what I saw? Or was the timing just off?
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
It's kind of one of the pieces of tech that I personally didn't learn from my ABBA just yet. So a little outside of my knowledge, my sphere of knowledge. Oh, that's definitely a miss input there. Tried to full screen 5D there as Geo. Into a big combo. Who gets the hit? That's gonna be a wall break for sure. Taking it with the air super. And now we got the safe jump into a throw. Starting to look kind of dangerous. Oh, that was a cross up. The reversal attempt here works out. I think BNN was backdashing there, able to catch the vulnerable frames. And now big mix-up attempt goes to the goes for the F Shiki. But luckily the decisive, the mix-up part usually comes with after the first hit, so you can kind of comfortably block the initial jump and then YRC or deflect shield to be able to completely negate the mix-up if you think that the opponent is going for the F Shiki. Now through the wall. This is extremely great for BNN because the opponent is gonna be popping afterwards. Technically unchallengeable situation here. Oh, didn't block long enough though. It's basically during that pop you have basically the only thing that you can do is hold back, right? And if you don't, it's kind of same kind of situation as YRC. Like if you don't have the correct block on, you're gonna be taking the hit nonetheless. No auto guard, so to speak, in those situations. Now BNN, lots of steam going forward here. The Romanian FGC is thrilled. The air block DP does give BNN, I think, frame advantage. We're in the mode now. We're in the mode. Get the deactivation. I really like that Ember Falls has these refund combos down really well. Tries to throw. Okay, barely avoids the punish. Yeah, this is exactly what you want to play, BNN. Really good knowledge of the matchup. If you get any kind of hit in, even on block, you spent Wild Assault immediately, right? You spent all of your resources in order to keep the ABBA in a block string until they pop. Attempting a whiff punish, attempting again! Is that what Ember Falls really wanted to play? The 5D, the double 5Ds in fact. Is that footsies? I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even pressed 5D on ABBA even once yet in my life. Because I mean the character kinda has the mix-up part of the kit covered in her install mode already. And then as normal mode, you just want to be doing other stuff anyway. RC. Ooh, that lands as a hit! This deactivates and gives Ember Falls naturally half of the jelly back that they spent for the combo. Life advantage is massive for Ember Falls, and ABBA is one of the toughest characters in the game in terms of defensive modifiers, or rather EHP, if you want to put it like that. But slowly the health is running out, and you can't take combos forever! Even if the combos are not the most hard-hitting kind, as is the case with Geo. Although Geo still does quite like respectable amount of damage. I think Geo flows like Sin Kisk, right? Like there are some characters that hit harder, but she just flows so well that you're always in like a danger zone of taking more, like guaranteed after a combo. It's gonna be the pop, so Ember falls back to the drawing board and will have to try to find a way to build back enough of that jelly. So essentially, it's the Rekka Rekka. There we go. Rekka Rekka or the key grab. Very nice basing there. BNN catching the opponent, landing on that jump D. Like you often want to stay far away so that there is no jump-in mix-up for ABBA. Like her jump-in buttons are absolute garbage. And the only way that she can kind of RPS you is if she gets above you with that jump D. Kind of like Potemkin-esque RPS. Got the IBFD there, but still wasn't able to push ABBA far enough away from the mix-up. Here we go with the conversion, and a super should hit, yes indeed. BNN going into the set point position here. Full burst meter for Ember, but what can we do? The opponent is blazing forward. Nope. 5 heavy counter into nothing. That was a very, very hard read that the opponent wants to burst immediately. I mean, it's understandable because you are a Red Wild Assault character, so like round start button into Red Wild Assault is a very, very common thing, which can be bursted. Alright, we are around 4 seconds of time for Ember. Misses the anti-air attempt. Yeah, that's the damage. That's the jealousy rage damage that we're looking for. 5 heavy again. Converting counter hit accordingly to shot B. Oh, hello! Mashing out with a key grab. One of the rarer option, but that does give you pretty decent rewards, right? Building the jealous rage gauge and putting you in the mode. Making the safe play, so deactivating manually, staying around 50% of your jelly. But here comes BNN, breaking the wall. And now this is basically guaranteed access to your opponent. And look at the speed at which BNN is building meter. The resources, sees the burst coming out, misses the punish though. Ember still has a small chance. Oh, look at the shimmies! The Street Fighter fundamentals is dancing, but the jump D, I said the jump D is the only button that you can feasibly make something happen with. Danzai does not deliver enough damage, however, you're not gonna challenge the jealous mode, are you? No, you won't! BNN, no fear whatsoever! Dashes forward against Moroha mode. Are you kidding me? That stuff kills! No fear whatsoever! But I mean, if there is a character who does that, it's probably Giovanna. The step dash into buttons. Perhaps some of the best ways to intercept incoming hitboxes. Although, I mean, realistically, you're never gonna beat the hitboxes coming out from ABBA. Far slash, shit ton of disjoint. 5 heavy, even more disjoint. 2D, disjointed. Man, that was a brave last move there. I would have imagined that, you know, with your mobility, BNN is actually gonna run away until the pop comes. But no. I guess that's the RPS. You think, or rather, you think they think you're gonna run away, but no, you're gonna go forward instead, aggressively. I love fighting games, huh? All right, well, that seems to be the end of our show today. So this is, that's right, the last Bounty Hunters of Season 3. We're gonna say goodbye to this beloved patch. It's been a really important patch for me because I didn't find as much playtime, or rather motivation, personally in Season 1 and 2. But Season 3 really like added enough layers that wanted me to, you know, get back into the Guilty Gear Strive for real as a competitor. So even though there are a lot of opinions about Season 3, and arguably it was one of the nastiest seasons so far, I think it was a good season in my opinion. It was one of the seasons that I liked the most so far, and it's looking like Season 4 is gonna be equally as crazy as Season 3 was. So stay tuned for that. 4 more days. 31st of October, gonna see not only Queen Dizzy, but the Season 4 patch changes dropping in. And of course, as you might imagine, Dizzy is gonna be available next week on Bounty Hunters. It's already added to the sign-up forms. And speaking of which, if you want to play next week, the easiest way is to join my Discord. The sign-up forms are going to be posted there very fast, very swiftly after the stream goes offline. But now I will bid you farewell, my dear viewers, and let's see, what do we have available in terms of rate options. You know, since it's Deknud who is gonna be hosting the Untitled Unmatched, right? So let's go rate that stream. So I'll send you to EMEA GGST. They got their tourney going on over that side. So for now, thank you for watching. It was another really blastful, really fun week. Lots of even games, and yeah, gotta say, I'm happy with the season 3 that we got. Till next time, stay safe. Let's see what the new season will bring. Next Sunday, 5 p.m. CET. Till then, bye bye.